Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Under the Ring Podcast, episode 24. It's hard to keep count. Kenny, do your
24. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Under the Ring Podcast, the most electrifying podcast in sports entertainment. I am your boy, the Kentez Almas. I have no belt, but that's quite all right because guess what? I still got kids, damn it. At the end of the day, I may not have a belt, but I still got kids. And for all those out there that don't know, guess what? We need sponsors because I need this job, god damn it. All right. Just to let you know. All right. Coming to you from North Augusta, South Carolina, our producer, the man who I can't even say he hasn't been doing his job because we've had streams with no fuck ups for about a good 2 months now. So I can't even say nothing bad about that. Bravo. He still has no belt. He's still a piece of shit, but that's all right. We still love him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mongo.
All right. Anyway,
I'm gonna get control of this fucking stream one day and kick all y'all bastards off. Just to let you know.
Podcast land, it's me, it's the DREG. We had a lot of shit happen this week. Dear God.
I don't even bring any news up. Just say just because we got to keep everything in the news.
I know, but also Jesus Christ. Let's just get going. Come on, just right. Next person. I want to say, but it's got to be news stuff.
Coming to us from Macon, Georgia on his mind. We have our Otis, our Keith Lee, Luchasaurus, our journalist joining us. Justin, say what's going on, Justin.
What's up, guys? I'm so excited to obviously be here. 2 weeks in a row I've been here at the start. I mean, this has got to be a streak.
Baby.
There we go. Got my theme music and everything rolling. All right. Like Greg said, man, or like Mongo said, it's been a crazy week. I thought the Royal Rumble was it, and then the week just exploded. So I'm excited to talk wrestling this week, and happy to be back 2 weeks in a row, actually on time.
Right. I almost forgot how to do an intro for you because I'm not used to doing this shit. So I got to work that into it now. Coming to us from the BX, the Boogie Down, we have half of the tag team champion pulling up with his Bullet Club face mask, with his tag belt, the head of the table gear on. He's doing a lot right now. Give it up for our fiend, the Puerto Rican Bronson Reed. Give it up for Jeremy, folks.
Yeah.
With the
You know what I got, Jeremy? I got you know what? Fuck that.
You know what? I'm with you. Oh, wait. The diesel?
Yeah.
Okay. No, diesel can rock. Say what's up to the
He's okay.
As he takes a sip.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, don't come on all mellowed out after the fucking Brody Lee, yeah, and all that other bullshit.
I mean, it was a good weekend. I mean, I cut my tag belt. I ain't get the belt I wanted, but we got next week for that.
Mongo with the Longhorn mask scoring. I see you, Mongo. I see you. You figured you got to at least try to rep one school that might try to win something.
They haven't won a goddamn thing since I started being a fan of them. So I think that clearly proves the point. I bring curses to sports teams. I mean, the Falcons are the Falcons, the Braves, the Gamecocks, the Longhorns. Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah, you just got a whole list of losers, huh? Goddamn. Coming to us last but certainly not least, our UTR predictions champion, still the champ. Actually, this might be one of the longest runs for a champion we've had since we've rebooted. So I gotta give him credit for that. He's been champ for going on almost a month now, which is fucking surprising in this fucking prediction.
That's 3 fucking defenses in a month.
Right. And the only reason why he's been fucking champ this long is because he's been champ during pay-per-views where we've all had the same fucking picks. There was no reason for anybody to change picks. So that's the only reason why his ass is still fucking champs. Give it up from Cincinnati, Ohio, the good brother, the teacher man, Mr. Mike who? Mike Jones. Say what's up, everyone. Mike.
What's popping, UTR? As Kendez Amos just alluded to, I am still
Cut his mic.
your reigning.
Cut his mic.
defending-
Cut his mic. Cut that shit now. Thank you. Thank you.
Mongo is a man of the people.
Fucking Adam Pearce. That's what I like to see.
I mean, yeah, that's just hey. I mean, you know.
Actually, you know what, Mongo? You are not Adam Pearce. You are John Lorna. People power.
People power. UTR
Hold on.
heavyweight predictions champion. You can kick me out, but I'm still gonna finish. God damn it! I've been ducking and dodging the past month or so, ducking and dodging. And also, I want to thank my big brother Kenny, because the main reason why I've been able to keep this belt for so long is a rule that he implemented a couple years ago. Because remember when we had, multi-champs? There was a couple moments where we had 3 of us as the fucking champ at one time.
Matter of fact, it was us 3 right here.
Yeah.
Fucking Good Brothers was all 3 fucking champs at one good point in time, man.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that shit no more. I got tired of sharing the belt, so only one motherfucker gets the belt now. But all right.
Technicalities. But yes, I am still your champ. This week, I get to breathe a little bit because we got a lot of wrestling next weekend. And like the guys alluded to, woo! We saw some shit last night. So let's get to it, boys. Let's talk some wrestling.
Before we go into that, I just want to say one thing. AEW, WWE, Impact, New Japan. Y'all are some assholes. Why would y'all put that much wrestling on Valentine's Day fucking weekend? Why would y'all do that? There's people like us that gotta try to do shit for Valentine's Day weekend, and we trying to get some candy, and then try to sneak some wrestling into that shit.
Hold on.
Luckily for me and Mongo, we don't have to worry about that.
We're gonna be walking. We ain't got shit to do.
To be fair, I lucked out because my anniversary is on the 18th. So I luck out. Valentine's Day is
skip
on
Valentine's Day?
So,
You skip Valentine's Day?
Oh yeah, the 14th is just another day. Yeah, fuck that day. Yeah.
Right. If your anniversary is the 18th, there's no such thing as Valentine's.
This man Mike cheated the game. Like he set that up well. You pick an anniversary near a holiday where you normally have to give gifts. Then you only have to do it one day. It's so smart.
Oh, hold on. Mike is not the only smart one. Why do you think that is my brother? And I'm only 10 years older than him. My wedding anniversary is only a week away from my wife's birthday.
Well done, fellas. Well done.
It's the August 20th. It's the August 20th, Mom, baby.
Mm-hmm.
We got fucking. We got tickets. Well, damn, Reggie. Well, damn, Reggie. Well, damn, Reggie. Let's get into some actual wrestling. All right.
So, Sunday was Royal Rumble. Lots of happened. Let's go ahead and do this now. Edge and Bianca Belair, your Royal Rumble winners.
Okay, do I start my rant now or do I hold it off?
Hold off until we actually cover the match.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, these are the 2 picks. I thought the Women's Rumble, like the final 3, was fantastic. I mean, it was Charlotte
put both of those girls over the way she should have done last year.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte put both of those girls over the way she should have done last year. And you know what? Thinking back on it, I kind of see why they did it. I kind of see why they did it with Charlotte, because if you think about it, at that moment in time, the women's division on NXT was kind of jumbled. It had no real direction on what the fuck it was doing. Yes, Rhea was champ, but who was her challenger? We had no challenge.
It was top heavy.
Like it was a lot. So Charlotte going there and kind of setting a little bit of order for the way it is now. Now that I look back on it, as mad as I was, it totally makes sense. Edge doing it.
Hey. It's y'all just assuming shit before it even happens. Just calm down.
Here's the thing. Like technically,
also Edge
from what I've seen, the match for WrestleMania is going to be Edge versus Roman. That's what I have seen. I have seen that the match for WrestleMania will be Edge versus Roman. Edge winning the Royal Rumble, uncalled for, but we'll get into that later on.
Does it help that Edge has pretty much said that he's basically going to be full time between now and Mania?
No, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely fucking not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. And like I said, I'll get into my rant.
Win a lot of matches for SmackDown.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into that when I go into my rant. But keep going.
All right. Next up, we have some releases this week from the WWE. Earlier today, we lost what's that guy's
very fucking funny. Steve Cutler, the one who didn't say the dumb shit, got cut, and fucking Jackson Riker, dumbass, is still fucking here. I don't understand that dumb shit.
Jackson Riker, the reason the Forgotten Sons were taken off TV,
it's still here
back on TV with Elias. Cutler's gone. Blake's doing whatever. Cutler's out of there, which they were just with Baron Corbin, and then out of nowhere, they just stopped doing it. And in a company where the main roster's tag division is like really failing, you can't afford to lose more tag teams. That's a really strange move.
But can you really not afford? If they don't use tag teams though, so like it doesn't really matter if they lose a tag team at this point. They'll just smash two random people together and make that the biggest tag team on whatever show.
I mean, they could reunite Murphy and Blake.
But here's the thing: they could. You're absolutely right with that, Justin. But at the same time, I think that they actually. I've been thinking about how WWE's been doing their tag division, and you know me, I've been one of their hardest critics on it. And technically, there really are no tag teams, and the only legit tag teams that they had, they were champs. The only legit tag team that they really had were New Day and Street Profits. Yeah, and they were champs.
And Hurt Business is. Well, I know it got smashed together, but they made them into a legitimate group.
Right. The Hurt Business is the black version of the Bar. Okay? Let's just keep it a buck. It's like the black version of the Bar. Okay?
No one expected a lot out of them, but they ended up being one of the best things on the show. Yeah. Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like, excuse me. God damn, this is good. But, yeah. Like, honestly, they don't have any tag teams. So if they'd have had another tag team on there, then I think they might have done something with it. Other than Street Profits and New Day, the only other real tag team they had, we can honestly say, was Heavy Machinery. They broke them up for no reason. They broke them up for no reason, which was we can all admit was stupid. But
because they had no direction.
And the Usos are injured. But when the Usos aren't injured, they're in that tag title picture too. So any real tag teams, I think WWE is kind of pushing the legit tag teams. They just don't have any.
Viking Raiders still hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but even their legitimate tag teams, they're just not having them wrestle. Well, I mean, I guess you got New Day and Retribution, but like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
terrible.
Yeah,
Retribution is awful.
You don't have retribution. You just
Listen.
Well,
First of all, I'm not going to say nothing about Retribution until I see this match Monday with Xavier and Reckoning. Because Xavier called out Reckoning and she fucking accepted, and we're getting that match Monday.
Look,
We're getting that match.
I need Mia Yim to whoop his ass.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I think this might be, and I'm being 100% honest. If this match goes on the way it's supposed to, this may be Mia Yim's best match that she has ever had in WWE. Because on the independent scene, Mia Yim is used to wrestling men. So when she's wrestling the females in WWE, and you know how WWE slows down the female wrestlers and slows down a lot of their wrestlers. So when she's wrestling with the females in WWE, she's used to actually taking real body slams, and a lot of the females are putting her in dainty moves, and she's not used to it. So that's why a lot of Mia Yim's matches look so sloppy, because she's used to actually fighting and wrestling. And I hate to say it, a lot of the female wrestlers, except for maybe a few, are bikini models or gymnasts who turn wrestlers.
There's a couple that are in this. Wasn't Candice LeRae pretty used to wrestling men for a while there?
She and Name Redacted were a mixed tag team. And she was used to fight, which is why when she fought Mia Yim, that was Mia Yim's best match. And Candice LeRae's best match, because they beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. And then she had another match with a guy not too long ago, or like I guess it was just I don't even know if it was a match. It might have been after a match, but she looked better in whatever that was than she has in anything else she's done in WWE other than the Mia Yim match. So I think obviously you put up the thing. Kenny's right. I mean, when you are used to wrestling men out on the independent circuit, you come to WWE and you've got these light moves that you're taking versus what you were taking. The bumps are just totally different.
Right. So it makes a lot of your matches look sloppy because you're so used to going at a different pace, because you're wrestling with the guys that a lot of the women aren't at the same pace as that. Like, there are a few women that Mia Yim has matches with where they look really, really good. Like Shayna Baszler, because Shayna is just a powerhouse.
Which I want to say quick, people hated that match, and I don't know why. That
was a good ass match. That was a good fight. Yeah, that's what that was. That was a good fight.
The whole build up to that was awesome. Because Shayna, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, this is gonna be a wrestling match. This is gonna be a fucking fight.
That's exactly what it was. It was a fucking fight, and it was a damn good one. Yeah. Like, Mia's had good matches with Shayna. She's had her, like we said, her best match with Candice, and she had a good match with, I believe it was Toni Storm. No, Mercedes Martinez, I believe she had a good match with Mercedes Martinez, who's another person who's used to wrestling on the independent circuit, going with, even her match with Bianca wasn't that good. Even her match with Bianca, because you got to remember, Bianca's first wrestling is WWE. So Bianca is homegrown, 100%. You know what I mean? She's homegrown. So she's going to learn. She knows the moves that WWE tells her to learn. You know what I mean? So even her match with Bianca wasn't that well. Anybody that's been on an independent circuit and has had a match or two with a male, Mia's best friend is Shelton Benjamin.
Man, when they were feuding with her, I was just needing that Reckoning Shelton Benjamin
interaction.
Like anything. Just put those two on the screen together. It's going to work out well.
Right, because that's literally her best friend. Mia's best friend is Shelton Benjamin. Like, for people that don't know, Mia did go through a situation where she was being abused. She got away from that, which we are all happy and proud of. And when she got away, the person who gave her the out and told her to come stay with them was Shelton Benjamin. Like, that's her legit big brother. Like, she's used to fighting people like Shelton. And I don't care what no one says. Shelton is one of the best fucking wrestlers that has ever stepped into a fucking squared circle. Might not have the personality to save his fucking life, But as far as athletic ability, once he's in that ring, there's very few and far that can touch him. And he's progressed from being a technical wrestler to a powerhouse because of his size, too.
You could argue he's had one of the best matches on just a regular Raw, like ever. Him and Sean.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
I think that might be maybe the best match ever on a Raw. Like just off the top of my head,
you know, like the first kick off the springboard.
The night he died.
Yeah,
iconic moment.
Yes,
Mhm.
I mean,
here's the thing. Honestly, think about it. Has Shelton ever really put on a bad match? The personality and personas he may have had within the match and the storylines may have sucked. But think about his actual matches.
he's also been dealt some really bad stuff gimmick wise, like with his mama or whatever they were doing is awful. Like his potential to where you take his in ring and then you put the things he's been dealt gimmick wise and just his lack of personality. It's just two totally different people. Like if he had even a semblance of personality and hadn't been dealt bad gimmicks, or if you just put him with somebody that can talk, MVP, then he works.
But see, Justin,
Look at how it works now. He could.
They did have him with someone who could talk, and he was at the top of his game. They had him with Kurt Angle.
Right.
but you know what? Also, that gold standard character could have worked. It could have really worked had they put the proper time into it.
But they didn't. Right.
Like that was like the concept of that. He even changed his hair to gold. Like just the concept of that character alone, that's a top heel. And they dropped the ball with it.
But you got to right. You've got to give him the titles that go with that gimmick. Like that's what I'm saying. Bad hand dealt gimmick wise. It's the follow through of those gimmicks. Like he's had good gimmicks that could work, but then they just haven't had follow through. And then the stuff with the mama and he just feels like somebody that has so much athletic potential and ability and gifts that has been really one of the biggest drop balls maybe in WWE that I can remember.
And
you know what
is back in the day, if you look back and go watch some old Raws from the Triple H Golden Shovel era, 2002, 2004, he beat Triple H twice. Shelton Benjamin around that time was he was white hot as a face. I mean, crowds loved him. His music hit, they went crazy. And him beating Triple H twice was a huge deal. And then, like Justin said, they just dropped the ball.
You know what I noticed too? It seems like, except for when he was the greatest tag team with Charlie Haas, every time they had a Shelton run, there was another. I hate to say it, there was another black wrestler who either looked like him as far as stature or maybe slightly ability. So a lot of times he got confused with that person and it kind of dropped the ball. Like around the time, I would think it was either the gold standard or the time with his mama. What was the other black dude that was with JBL?
Orlando Jordan.
If you didn't know any better, and if you were brand new to wrestling, you would definitely have gotten Orlando Jordan and Shelton Benjamin mixed the fuck up.
Fair enough.
And unfortunately, I think for him, a lot of the times when he came out, there was another black wrestler that was very similar to him, so it didn't allow him to stand out as much. Like, I know one of the times it was with Orlando Jordan. The other time, even though he's bigger than Kofi Kingston, but it was Kofi around that time. And I think Kofi was like Intercontinental Champion or some shit like that around that time. So I think that was another thing with Shelton. And it was also around time of brand split. So when he was on one show doing this, the other black guy was on the other show doing whatever they were doing. So it kind of made Shelton seem like the bootleg version of the black guy on the other show.
It's a shame.
Even when he came back this time, he got a pop and could have been really, really good this time on his own, solo, singles. But then didn't they stick him with Chad Gable at first?
Yeah, they split American Alpha just to give Chad Gable Shelton Benjamin.
Right.
Why?
It made no sense. And then you split it up, and then Jason Jordan gets the Kurt Angle dad line, right? They go down that path with him. The path
this is all going back into them not knowing how to do tag teams.
Right. Then you push Chad Gable down the path with Shelton, which is the exact same thing, just older Jason Jordan. Like in terms of like the type of like ability wise, like him and Shelton had. And then the best thing that's happened to him obviously has been being put with MVP and Lashley and Cedric, but it looks like they're heading towards a breakup of that group. So
it's crazy because why would you break up what is one of your best groups since the Undisputed Era? It is generally one of the most entertaining groups they've had since the era. This is four guys who a year ago today we gave zero shits about. I'm talking Shelton, MVP. Kenny was furious MVP was on TV.
Who said I'm still not?
Then Cedric.
That's for sure. That's what I feel. Just because the maniac is quiet does not mean the rage is still not there.
Then
I just prefer the fact that they now have him more settled into a keep your ass outside the ring role.
Hey,
I'm happier about that.
He is best at. Then you have Cedric coming off his white hot Cruiserweight Championship run into nothing for like a year and a half, nothing. And then lastly, the Lana storyline. Like this was four guys we could not have given less of a shit about. And then in less than a year, they're one of the most exciting things on TV.
Well, they've given all those guys direction. And like it's a good direction. And they've all got titles. And they're believable as champs. Like that's the other thing. And we talk about them not pushing tag teams. Like Shelton and Cedric should be a really good tag team for a really long time. But they're going to break that up. And the same thing, Lashley is a really good enforcer and top like guy to go get titles for that group. And they're going to break that up. And the sad thing is if you break them up, none of them still can't talk. Like they're still not going to be able to carry themselves as singles.
The one guy that can talk is the one guy that should be in the ring.
And here's the thing that
right.
And here's one thing that is just so
shout out
like
to Duce, sponsor us, Duce.
God damn it. And there's one thing that is highly underrated about the Hurt Business. They help carry Raw throughout this entire pandemic. They, along with Drew, help carry Raw.
Yeah.
Like, whoever Drew McIntyre was feuding with, that story, and the Hurt Business, those were the only two things that you had to give a damn about Raw. They were the only two things worth a damn. The Hurt Business, Drew McIntyre. For nearly a year, they have carried the red brand with this faction. Why break them up? For what? Why split them up?
How the only time Retribution was interesting was when Hurt Business was like, okay.
Whipping their ass.
They went after them.
Hurt Business said, all right, look, pay us up front, extra cash, and we're getting title shots. We'll take care of them for you.
And we never got Lashley and Drew where Lashley goes over and has the main title. I know that seems crazy to think about because we're all big fans of Drew.
No, like this Lashley right now that I'm seeing, this Lashley, I wouldn't mind it.
I would not mind it at all.
He should have been the champ by now. Like,
and you know what? I'm going to throw one thing in there that I don't know how many people will agree with. If he would have learned to keep his mouth shut, I would have loved to see Leo Rush in this Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely.
Honestly, if you had been able to get Leo in, Leo could have been Intercontinental champ, Cedric, Shelton, tag champ, Lashley, WWE champ or Universal champ, whichever one it is.
Actually, I would have preferred Cedric as IC champ.
What? Yeah, I mean, either way,
both of them IC champ. Give Leo and Shelton tag. Leo and Shelton.
Yeah, that works. I mean, either way, that you should have had if you could have gotten Leo in. You should and could have had the Hurt Business having all the titles, and that's what this group is built to do. because you've seen them carry Raw without the top championship. If you give them the top championship, it's going to only help them carry Raw. And imagine the people that could chase Lashley and the group for the titles. That's the part I feel like we're going to miss out on because they're going to break them up.
Hold on. We gotta go into more news. We gotta go into more news. So Mike make 1 point, and then I'm gonna make 1 point also. Go ahead, Mike.
Right. I just want to say this. This what makes trips at NXT so good because UE had all the belts, and it worked. You have the most over faction in that brand. You put all the belts on them and let them have a nice run with it. Nobody complained. You could have did the same thing with the Hurt Business. Even with this version, even with Cedric, like you could have had all the belts. It would have worked.
We got Reggie saying that he wants a Lesnar versus Lashley match with Heyman versus MVP on the mic.
Yeah.
The Heyman versus MVP on the mic, definitely. The Lesnar versus Lashley, not anymore because Brock isn't in the same prime condition shape. Brock is not in the shape that Lashley is in right now.
If they had treated Lashley like this when he first came back, and he was fighting Lesnar, yeah, of course, that would have been amazing. But they didn't. For some reason,
they really didn't. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. My high ass forgot the point I was going to make. So let's just go on to keep next piece of news.
So we didn't get to the first half of that. So Steve Cutler was released, but also another freak was released. That's right. Lars Sullivan is no longer in the WWE. Yeah, I said it.
You're not wrong.
So, Lars Sullivan's out of there, man. The last thing we saw him do was a shirtless interview with Michael Cole.
Here's the thing. After finding out some of the details on why he wasn't there and what was going on, I don't have anything bad to say about Lars.
No,
there was a point where when he was in NXT where we were all like, okay, right. All right, like this he could be like a good monster, and it just he was another person that was really hurt by that weird 6-person call up they did back in 2019, where they called it Heavy Machinery, Lacey Evans, Lars,
Bianca, was it?
I don't think it was Bianca.
No.
Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
And then there was somebody else. And it was like there was no reason to have all of them called up. There were no plans for any of them. And then half of them didn't really do anything until 6 months later.
EC3.
EC3. What the fuck was that about?
That's why you couldn't remember it, Mongo. We want to forget that call up ever happened.
EC3 should have never been called up to begin with. But
Lars too.
Now Lars, you actually could have called up. The thing about it was Lars could have been called up, and the way you could have called Lars up, the ultimate payoff would have been this right here.
Well, I think we thought we were getting Braun or Lesnar, right?
That was going to be the ultimate payoff. This right here. You could have had one-on-one show, have him just doing a thing, one on the other show doing him thing. But at the end of the day, the ultimate payoff you have is Giant versus Giant, Freak versus Monster, Braun versus Lars. You know, like I said, Lars went through some shit, and I can totally understand where he's coming from. Having lost my father this year, in the year 2020 as well, I totally understand where Lars is coming from as far as motivation-wise and not being able to. Mm-hmm. And another thing that Lars was battling with that is something that is just now getting noticed and talked about is men's depression, men's mental health.
And anxiety, major anxiety. Like that's something that, you know, women have been known to experience and stuff like that. And I'm not saying like men have not, but it's been something more talked about with women than it has ever been with men.
there's been a stigma that if you're a man and you're depressed, you're weak.
Very much so.
I mean, that's the stigma that goes along with it. And as a guy who battles depression myself, like I relate to that. I understand what that is, and I know it's hard, especially even on my scale, to tell people, hey, I'm depressed, I'm going through things, because that stigma is around that if you are a man, you shouldn't be weak and you shouldn't let anybody know that. And so imagine that on a scale of being a TV star, a wrestling star, and it's 10 times or 100 times worse because you got eyes trained on you at all times. And so, like you said, Kenny, I don't have anything bad to say about Lars, other than I really think that there was a lot of missed potential there. You mentioned the potential for a Braun match. We thought we were going to get him and Lesnar. We thought there was a collision course there when Lesnar was actually carrying and wrestling.
Let's go back to that title match with Aleister Black. People like to joke about that missed kick, but the rest of that match,
that was a damn good fight. Damn good fight.
Lars monster.
Can I ask a question? I'm sorry to go off topic. It just caught my mind because you just was there a rematch today on NXT UK between Dragunov and Walter?
I'm gonna need to check, but if there was, we're gonna stop the podcast for about 20 minutes to go watch it.
Yes.
I do believe there was. I saw something. I saw something where those two were getting ready to have a match or something like that, and I'm like, "Is this a rematch? Is this a rematch? Like, what the fuck is going on?" And I saw something
today. They're definitely building up to a rematch.
When the rematch happens, ladies and gentlemen, there will be no podcast and you won't need a podcast because I'm pretty sure you will hear all of us screaming at the top of our lungs for every goddamn move that is going to happen during that match. But I'm sorry to just randomly throw that in there.
Yeah, they're building up to it. He fought Tyson T-Bone or whatever, but the second that happens, that's
yeah.
We're just not gonna have a show because we gotta watch it. If you want to see that match, just watch it.
If no one's ever seen a death in wrestling, watch that match.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was nasty. So Lars and Steve Cutler have been released. Lars, I think, said he's done with wrestling. Just because it matters too much to handle, which it sucks, and we all understand that. He had definitely made some mistakes in the past, and he's apologized for them.
And the one thing he did say is he said that he thanks WWE for handling his release and his issues very respectfully, honestly, and privately. He said he didn't expect that from WWE. He said, I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect that. And he said they handled it maturely, respectfully, and honestly. And that's saying a lot from WWE because we know how they can be.
Yeah, I think it shows growth on both sides.
Because they can be really petty when they release people.
They can. And they've done that recently.
Oh, hold on. I got one more fuck you Taker. Check this out, Taker. You know what? With all the shit that Lars quote unquote did and got himself in trouble for and stuff like that, you know the one thing he said never happened to him backstage? People never bullied him. They listened to what he had to say, and if he made a strong opinion, they forgave him and they moved on and they learned how to do stuff. So there goes your weak locker room learning how to use their fucking minds instead of fucking trying to beat people up and bully them and alienate them to where they might do something even more. Imagine if Lars was in the locker room that you were in, Taker. That man might have fucking took his own life. With the locker room that you're talking about that you missed, that was the hard locker room.
And that
goes shout out to the new locker room for having maturity to actually help this man when he needed to get help and shit like that.
Kenny, that goes back to that stigma too. It's people like Taker who still believe that to be a real man, you have to, act strong and think that bullying people is okay. And I feel like we should have moved past that as a society at some point. But there are still people out there that still believe that
To be a dumb brute means to be a man.
Right. But listening to people's feelings is somehow weak. Or, taking other people's opinions and not getting mad and throwing them into a locker is weak. I mean, it's just, it goes back to that stigma of what people go through. And especially, like I said, for a TV star, and I think Reggie said it earlier, that people don't understand that those people on TV are still human.
Listen, men, it is okay to have people in your life who are willing to listen to you. It is okay to have the vent to people. It is okay to be vulnerable. The last thing we need to deal with as men is to have that pent up anger and frustration and hold it in. Because you know what that does? It can ultimately kill us at an early age. Do not be afraid to talk to somebody, whether it be someone personal or someone on a professional tip. Talk to somebody. Release that stress. Use your voices and let yourself be heard.
Shit, I'm damn near 40. And it's just taking me this long to learn how to do that. And I'm still learning day by day. It is okay, y'all. Trust me. Let's get into some more wrestling. Because this is a whole nother topic. This is an on the mic topic, which happens on Thursdays before the Under the Ring podcast. So don't forget to check out On the Mic on YouTube Thursdays right before us.
Yeah, there. Also, a kind of a newer piece of news. It looks like Karrion Kross is being fast tracked to the main roster.
Whoa! I like it.
Look, let's be honest. If there's a guy you should just shoot right to Raw SmackDown,
yeah, that's him. It's him.
Give me Cross and Lashley.
Oh my God, yes.
Give me Cross and Lashley yesterday.
Hold on. There's an issue. Okay, speaking of Cross, I'm glad you mentioned that up. Last night on NXT, as we were doing our live stream, Brother Mike and myself, we were wondering why the fuck would Scarlett and Karrion Kross have any fucking thought about Escobar? Like, why would this?
All right,
Mongo informed us that Escobar has been talking shit for the past couple of weeks about the former champions. So, with that being said, we were like, oh, yeah, cool, kill him. Here's the thing. Upon Kross killing Escobar, this is supposed to be his face change. He's supposed to go from heel to a face upon this. I don't want him as a face.
No, I've never seen him as a face. I don't know if he's ever been a face. And look, that is a man. When you look at like how his face actually is structured,
is angry.
Yeah,
He's got an angry face.
yes.
He looks like Mr. Clean.
he looks like the devil.
That is the male version of resting bitch face.
That is Demon Mr. Clean.
I have never
Demon
seen
Mr. Clean. I'm telling y'all.
a more evil face in my life than Karrion Kross when he's any emotion. He is just the most evil motherfucker I've ever seen.
I seen a picture of him and Scarlett. They think they were in like Bahamas or something, or somewhere tropical. Beautiful background. She's smiling and he's still sitting there looking like son of Satan.
His grin is menacing.
Yeah.
His smile is terrifying.
It's a scary
That's
ass
the thing.
man.
He was smiling in the picture.
How can he be?
He was smiling in the picture and I was still nervous. Like,
How can he be a face?
I don't know why he's trying to face, but at the same time, with how wrestling works, when you're a heel and you get a really great reaction and you have a cool entrance and you might have like a really hot wife beside you or whatever, fans tend to start to cheer you. You know.
but here's the thing: you can still be a heel, but in that process, beat up everyone. But keep your focus though on good guys to let people know that you're still a heel.
I think he has. So since this is a thing, and I want to make sure real quick. I want to read this because Actually, the source out here. It was from Wrestling Observer Radio, so I guess it would be Brian Alvarez or Meltzer. It doesn't say who said it. Cross is being fast-tracked to the WWE's main roster. It said that WWE officials are excited about getting him on either Raw or SmackDown as soon as possible. There is no set plan as to which roster Cross will land on, but his act with Scarlett should benefit whichever brand they end up on when this year when the time comes. So it's going to be this year. He's going to be with Scarlett because why would they duo up? Cross and McIntyre is a great thing.
Honestly, y'all know.
Okay.
Y'all know my high ass can't keep a thought. I need Cross stalking the head of the table.
Roman? I mean, if you're gonna do it, if he's gonna be face, okay. If he's gonna be face,
the way you can make him face, have him stalk Roman.
But what I need, if that's gonna happen, I need Roman to expand that table. I need a few more guys in Roman's crew.
Here's the thing. I saw something recently. It's funny you say that. Does it have to be a guy?
No.
Because I seen something recently where there was a interview with our Royal Rumble winner where she said if given the opportunity, she would love to work with Roman.
Oh, shit.
Yes, please. Yes. Yes.
You Bianca face Sasha at Mania? Oh, my God. Oh.
Yes. Yes, please.
You're welcome.
Oh.
You're welcome for that one.
Can I something I just realized while we were talking about this, guys?
Okay.
Look at the 4 champs we have right now. Is there a better time in terms of champs for a Cross to come up? You've got Big E, you've got Lashley, you've got Drew, and you have Roman.
Just 4.
Sign me up for all 4 of those matches. Any of those 4.
Yeah.
Like, there has not been a better time, one, for a Cross call-up with these 4 champs, but I can't think of a better time in the last few years where we've had a better, 4 champs than what we have right now.
Here's the thing. It depends on how you want to play, how you want Cross to be. Because depending upon what belt he goes for, which show, depends upon what he is. If he goes for the U.S. belt, he has to come up as a face.
Yep.
Yes.
If he goes for the world title, he has to come up as a heel to go against Drew. If he goes for the IC title, he has to be a heel against Big E. If he goes for the Roman title, he has to be a face. So it literally depends on which belt you want him to go for, that he is.
Okay.
Good point, Kenny.
So as
I mean, technically, kind of like how the Fiend is just an enigma that goes after whoever. You could do the same with Cross, because remember when Keith and Adam were feuding over the NXT title, Cross was just like, whoever's gonna win it, you're next on my list.
Yeah. And he would just stalk folks. He was just
We're gonna get Cross versus Goldberg, aren't we?
Look, as long as it ends
Don't you wish that people on me, Ricky Bobby?
That's out. I don't care. That's fine. Look, as long as he kills Goldberg on live TV, I'm fine with it.
Like you're next, but then it's like time's up.
TikTok.
Yeah.
And
That could be a decent feud, actually, the more I think about it.
Santos Escobar thing last night. It's all to just have Santos get his ass whooped. But why, of all people that he's come up against, is Santos Escobar the one not afraid of carrying Cross? Like, he stood eye to eye and was just smiling in his face.
If he's getting fast tracked, does Escobar go over?
Oh my God, Justin, I'll kill you.
I'm just saying.
If you ever say that again in front of my face.
But think about it. If he's getting fast tracked to leave, why would he win?
I don't know, but there's no way he puts over Santos Escobar. Like, there are better options.
I hope not,
right?
but I mean, like, that's
like if Walter came over, you put over Walter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're right. But what if he puts over Escobar?
I'll be very upset. As as a really big
The more
Cross
you-
fan, I'd be pissed.
But the more you're talking about it, Mongo, is he did look at him in his face, no fear. Like, is that the story they're going to tell? Is that he just doesn't care? He's going to beat him.
Or the Santos has someone else that's going to do his dirty work.
Aha. Aha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mike.
Could be. Trump card.
Yeah, because we got to think. It just physically, it doesn't make sense. I'm sure it would be a damn good match, but it just wouldn't make sense.
Look, I know we've had Rey Mysterio against the Big Show, and Rey Mysterio and Mark Henry, and Rey Mysterio and Khali, and Rey Mysterio and Ken. It's all Rey Mysterio. But I know we've had small motherfuckers against big motherfuckers, and they made it make as
And
much.
Rey Mysterio versus that ring post when he was strapped to that board.
That too. You cannot tell me Santos Escobar or anyone of his height is going to do anything against the embodiment of Satan himself. That's what he is.
So who would his help be?
That's the question. I don't know. Like it. That's
Is it Walter?
No,
You couldn't have him be Walter, could you?
No, it can't be Walter because like Imperium's already a thing in the
Right.
US, so he joined Imperium.
This is where I'm sorry, Mongo, but this is where they fucked up with Priest because, and let's just say that they didn't have that interaction already, him and Cross, before he got called up. Let's just say Priest kept doing what he was doing. He never had the interaction with Cross. This would have been the perfect time for Priest. They get recruited by Escobar. Then you have Priest and Cross go at it then.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Speaking of that, we need to get over some more news for you because we can talk about NXT later. But let's put a pin in that because I like that. Speaking of Priest, he's being paired up with Bad Bunny, who had a performance at Rumble on Booker T, who also drove on The Miz and John Morrison at the Rumble. Looks like he's going to be in a match with Priest against Miz and Morrison, I think.
It's a smart thing to do. If you're gonna pick somebody, that would be the smartest person. The Miz honestly is the safest wrestler in the business right now.
Yeah, but you have a better chance winning the lottery than you do getting hurt by the Miz in the ring. Like it's and here's the thing. Say what you want about people that are outside of the business coming in and doing whatever. He's not going for a belt. He's just fighting someone who at this point has lost a lot of stock in the Miz. As great as Miz is, him and Morrison have just really stunk it up the past year. And it sucks to say, but it's true.
But here's the thing, Mongo. I got one thing to say, Mongo. But isn't that what they normally do every WrestleMania with the falling stock wrestler? You had Big Show with Floyd Mayweather. You had Bam Bam Bigelow with Lawrence Taylor. Anytime you have the falling stock with a wrestler that you don't want to actually lose interest in, that you still want to keep alive, you pair him with the celebrity for the quick feud.
Yep, and that's true, and it works. And look, if you look at all those views that the Rumble clips got on their YouTube channel, WWE's official YouTube channel, a lot of them got like 400,000, 600,000. Bad Bunny's performance got almost 3 million. And his moments diving onto the Miz and Morrison and his shit from Raw is getting more views than anything else from Raw or Rumble.
Listen, Bad Bunny is
bringing eyes to the product.
He's bringing a younger generation. He's literally bringing a younger generation. And he's also bringing a whole community who has probably not watched wrestling in a long time. Like, let's be realistic. Since Eddie Guerrero, you have not had a huge Latin influence in wrestling. People tend to forget that Bayley is Latin American. People really tend to forget that shit. So when you have a Latin American superstar, whether I like his music or not, whether Jeremy likes his music or not, at the end of the day, he's a superstar. So when you have a Latin American superstar coming on you, you are now bringing in that Latin American community and fan base. That's going to make you money.
This is not the first, and it will not be the last time they do this. Back at WrestleMania? Was WrestleMania 1? Cyndi Lauper was there, and it was, and then like it's not just music, like it's pop culture and wrestling mix.
Cyndi Lauper, I'm saying, hold on, take it back. I'm old enough to remember that. I am actually older than WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. That's why my face is not on the screen right now, because I don't want to admit that shit. I am older than WrestleMania. Okay, Cyndi Lauper helped launch Wendy Richter's career, and she helped her win the belt. The thing that made Wendy Richter so hip for the women's wrestling was she was 80s punk, 80s style all the way. And Cyndi Lauper was representing that culture that was taking over, and that's how they got to that. And Bad Bunny is literally doing the same thing.
Well, and one thing I'll say that is even better about this particular one versus someone like you named the Floyd Mayweather Big Show stuff, but Ricky Spanish is going to get put over here too. Like Damian Priest is going to get a rocket strapped to him, and I think that's something that is really key to this. Is he is now going to go get a Mania win over Miz and Morrison, more than likely, with Bad Bunny. And then, the sky's the limit for Damian Priest. He has such a lot of talent. So it's not like a regular, like, celebrity one-off. They're also using this to put over a young, a new face, a new superstar potentially with Damian Priest.
Here's the thing. I'm glad you said that, because you know why? That also goes back to my mention about the Latino community now, because Monday was the first time we have ever heard Damian Priest speak Spanish while he was in the WWE. We all knew he was a Puerto Rican from New York. We all knew that shit. Monday was the first time we have ever heard him speak Spanish. That's big. It's low key, but it's big, because it's showing, hey, look, there's one of us on television.
Yeah, that to me is the most exciting part.
They're pushing him as the next Spanish star, I think.
They have to. If you're pairing him with Bad Bunny, there is no other thing than you're pushing him as the next Spanish star, which in turn sucks for the two Spanish superstars they have there right now in Almas and Garza.
I mean, that does suck, yes. But, I mean, look, let's be honest. Let's be real here. One of them is getting released this year.
Hopefully it's Garza.
Garza can go anywhere, he'll be fine. Andrade can too, but like one of them is going to get released because they're doing nothing with him. It's not because
Almas ain't going nowhere. Almas ain't going nowhere. He's fucking Charlotte. He's going absolutely nowhere. He's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. Garza is gone.
Garza could land anywhere and have some great matches. Oh my god.
Garza in Impact champion now.
X Division champ Garza would be fun.
I want Garza versus Chris Bay yesterday, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, they're pushing Priest because I think what they've been wanting really is this is the first time they've actually had someone that to try to go for this audience that isn't a cruiserweight.
True.
Priest is a big motherfucker.
Big dude.
And Vince likes big meat. I said it. Big medium man slapping meat. That's what he likes.
Super Saiyan pause on that one. Super Saiyan pause on that one.
That's what he's got. That's what he's got.
That's a Kami Ha pause on that one, bro. That's a woo.
Hold on.
Yeah, call on Sharon. Call on Sharon.
I would like to de-pause that, please. All right.
Call on Sharon, please. Call on Sharon for that one.
But
Woo!
for real, like, Priest he's a fucking giant.
Yeah, he is.
And he's an
To
ass
me,
kicker.
he's a new Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
And he's really good in the ring.
Except this one is actually Spanish.
Right.
He's good in the ring. And look, if he starts, if they can bring out him being able to speak in Spanish more, like he could be really good on the mic in 2 different languages, which could speak to that community that you're talking about being able to tap into, Kenny, which I think is really important. They're always about expanding into other communities. It's part of why we are getting WWE India. Isn't that right?
In NXT India.
In NXT India, they're all about expanding their global footprint, and having a true Spanish star on your weekly television show is going to be huge. And putting him, like you said, Bad Bunny, whether you like his music or not, is a superstar. Putting him with him can only make that work, and that's what I like about. I generally don't like the celebrity stuff. I'm not normally a big fan of the celebrity stuff, but they're using it to elevate one of their own, which I think makes it okay. I don't mind it.
And they're also using a talent that no matter whether that talent has a belt or not, is still going to be that talent. Like if the Miz loses, this won't hurt the Miz.
No.
It won't hurt the Miz at all. Because the Miz, honestly, whether people want to admit it or not, the Miz is that good on the mic where he can make you forget that he had that loss and can still jump into a major title picture scene immediately. You know what I mean? But we've done an hour on news. Let's get to some reviews real quick, and then talk some. We've done an hour on news. Let's get to that Royal Rumble
real quick. There's a rumor about the whole Cutler thing. Apparently, he was supposed to do something big with Blake recently, not just like the Corbin thing, but actually win tag titles. And he got COVID.
So what? You cut him because he got COVID, but you keep the motherfucker that refuses to wear a mask?
And that pissed off Vince.
Vince is so finicky, man.
Didn't Vince's brother just die from COVID? And that's why he's been missing shows?
Well, you know how Vince is about sickness?
But Vince has been legit missing shows because his brother's death has been fucking with him. And condolences go out to the McMahon family and their loss and everything and things of that nature. Because guess what, WWE? We still want to... we have our own member of the podcast commenting, fuck Bad Boy. This is the best shit I've seen all night. Somebody screenshot this shit and make this a goddamn picture on the page real quick. But
tweet that shit to him. Wouldn't be the first time I got into an argument with a reggaeton nigga.
God damn. But Vince, you literally just lost your brother to this virus. How can you fire somebody for getting it? But you know what?
It's Vince.
Nope. You know what? I'm gonna take
Vincent Kennedy.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and I'm gonna take the business mind here. Due to the fact that we are under scrutiny for people who might be having COVID symptoms, and we are trying to keep that under control. How dare you go out and get yourself infected? I am taking the business route on that one. I don't want to.
But Mia and
I hate it. But as a business, you got to think of it that way.
But Mia and Keith just had to sit out the Rumble.
Did they not just have Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Drew McIntyre?
All right, I ain't got nothing. All right.
It's just like
I tried, Vince. I tried for you, but yeah, you fucked up on that one.
It was from Fightful, which is a pretty reputable source. But
Yeah,
I
That
don't know
was
if it's true or not.
the
Now the shit is true. You know, it sounds like shit probably happened. So yeah, we'll get the Rumble now. By the way, Mike won because he's a bitch. So you know, whatever. Mike's still the champion. Fuck him. Rumble 2021. Let's get the Rumble. I fucking hate you. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defeated Asuka and Charlotte to win the tag titles back.
None of us predicted that shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they were going to have those belts like one pay-per-view longer.
Anybody remember what I said right before the match started? That I really wanted to change my pick, but I couldn't because Greg absolutely screwed me.
I did too, and I
wanted to the entire weekend.
I had the gut feeling. I'm like, nah, let me just stay with my pick.
I couldn't change it because I had Keith Lee winning everything in the men's Rumble, so I had no choice because Keith
actually Mongo fucked you. That should have been an automatic change since Lee was out.
I never said he had COVID. They never said he had COVID.
They said he was out.
Never said he had COVID.
And I said right before the women's match I wanted to change it, but it's okay, whatever. I got screwed.
You know what? It was at
That's Mongo for you.
Mike, shut the fuck up.
It was at that moment.
Shut the fuck up, Mike. Shut the fuck up.
At that moment, I knew.
Mute his ass.
People power.
People power. People power. People power. Thank you. Just let him talk because he can't say shit. Let him talk. God damn it.
All right. Anyway.
Think because your beard all lavish and shit, you can say what the fuck you want. Shut the fuck up.
So, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler beat Asuka and Charlotte.
Told my right.
Drew McIntyre beat Goldberg in 2.5 minutes.
Like that.
That the way it should. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that. Here's the thing. There was a piece of news, and I'm glad you mentioned that match. Goldberg has been reluctant to use the jackhammer, and so has his opponents because he hasn't felt comfortable with it. But Vince has been pushing for him to use it, which is why it looked like Goldberg almost killed Drew on Sunday when he tried to do that shit. Goldberg realizes that he doesn't have it anymore and doesn't want to do it, but Vince is still pushing him to do that move.
He's gonna get somebody seriously injured.
Yeah.
Dude, he's lost a lot of muscle mass in his shoulders and shit. Have you seen him? Like, have you noticed that shit? He is not.
He can't
do it anymore. A year ago.
Yeah.
Look, you got to stop pulling this Goldberg card, man. It's not worth it. Not at all.
Yeah.
And
if he had hurt Drew there, you would have fucked.
Also, can we just say that, like, him saying that Drew passed the test was the most ridiculous thing?
I was just getting ready to bring that up. Motherfucker, how you giving out tests and this ain't even your school?
He's just saying, he like,
bitch, you a substitute. You a substitute. Substitutes don't give tests. You know what happened if a substitute would have tried to give me a test when I was in school? I'd have crumbled that shit up and threw it right at him. Bitch, you don't go here.
You could crumble up stone tablets?
That was a good one. Let's see what team your ass is on when it comes down to the fantasy after that.
Wait, do you mean UTR or do you mean NWO?
Both of them.
Jesus. Love you too, Kenny.
Carmella. Another good match for Carmella.
I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of wanted Carmella to win this.
Me too.
I kind of wanted Carmella to win this. And no matter what anyone says, I think I said it on the thread too, we got to give it up for the amount of improvement Carmella has had from when she first came up to the Moonwalking Girl. It's Mella from Long Island. To what she is right now. Staten Island. Even worse. Even worse. The borough we don't claim.
If you had told me that when those three came up together, that Mella would be the most successful of that group,
right?
That I would have told you, one, you were crazy, but two, like, she's had this sustained run in WWE after they were gone. Like, they've been gone for what, 2-3 years now, somewhere there at least. I don't know. The pandemic feels like it's 5 years. So, But
she
yeah,
rose above them so fast.
She outgrew them the minute she got to the main roster.
She's been Mela Money for real for the last little bit. I mean, she's not bad. And I think that this match really made me notice it. And I think it was when Kenny brought that up on the thread that, like, how much she's improved from when she first came up to now. But, like, just thinking back to what we thought when they were coming up from NXT, like, we thought Cass and Enzo were going to be something big in the tag division. They weren't. And then she's actually become pretty solid.
We were upset that they split the three of them up. Like, Mela's not gonna be able to make it without them three. Without them two, she needs them. This and this. And when they came up and they split them apart, we were pissed. Originally, we were legit pissed. Like, yo, they should not have split them up. And like you said, here's the thing: Mela has improved so much that you don't even notice that her finisher maneuver is still the same thing. Her finisher is still the same, but it just. Yeah, so, like, it's still the same shit, but because of her personality and how she's gotten better in the ring, it's more of a threat now.
I mean, think about where she was when she won Money in the Bank with Ellsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is risen above the chinless wonder. Like,
say what you want, that Ellsworth helped put her over.
Oh yeah.
I have forgotten she was even with Enzo and Big
because it feels like so long ago.
They're so insignificant. If you
Ellsworth made a bigger difference in her career than Enzo and Cass, and I never thought I'd say that.
A motherfucker that was 86 ounces with no chin put her over more than a motherfucker that can actually talk on the mic.
If you miss those 2 years, and look, Enzo and Cass were great as a team, but if you miss those 2 years and came in, you miss nothing when it comes to Enzo. Like, nothing of importance. Him being in the cruiserweight division didn't matter.
I do know one moment where we all felt bad for Enzo and Cass. WrestleMania, when the Hardy Boys came and won the championships.
Yep. It should have been them. It should have been them.
It was their spot.
That was the one time I think where we all can agree, where we all were like, Enzo and Cass should have won that shit.
Well, back then, we were all Enzo and Cass fans.
Yeah.
Back then, we were all about Enzo and Cass.
I think
that was right before he died, right? When he got thrown into the ropes.
He got thrown into the ropes.
Hey!
But, like, if you go back and revisionist that, if they win that match and the Hardys come out after.
Shout out to Simon Gotch for killing it.
That motherfucker hates Enzo.
Now that's the only video you can watch on YouTube. I'm telling you.
Every day he recommended Simon Gotch shooting Enzo. I don't want to watch that. But waiting on me.
I finally got tired of seeing it, and I watched it. I just had to. I got tired of seeing it.
I've been avoiding the plague for 5 fucking years. It's still coming up.
The way he threw that man into that rope and the way he died, I have never seen a wrestler die in the ring like that. And I was alive when the Owen Hart pay-per-view happened. I have never seen a wrestler die the way Enzo died. Okay.
No.
Jesus, Kenny.
No.
All right.
You gotta stop, Kenny. Just mute yourself for a little while. I can't believe you said that.
All right. That was wrong. I was wrong, but it was funny. Come on, Damon. I'm trying to get some people to watch this. A little shock value will get us there.
You had two motherfuckers in the group. And I'm like, welcome to the show. Kenny's a dick. And the day I say that, yo, fucking Owen Hart.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Oh,
you want to know
Lord.
bullshit about that? That wasn't even pre-thought. That came right off the dome. That was
I'm
just
sure it
natural.
did.
So that shows you how much of a dick I might be. If that shit was just a natural, just
Oh,
like
God.
that
All right.
wasn't even pre-planned. But
Yeah. Let's move
That's that
on.
New York asshole.
Jesus. All right. The Women's Royal Rumble was next. And Bianca Belair won by last eliminating Rhea Ripley. So there's been a little controversy in this, and I want to get to it
boy, she won.
quick. She won. People have been saying that her feet hit the mat.
There's still nothing.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
It
see,
doesn't matter if her feet did hit the mat because she was chosen to
Who
win
gives a fuck?
because it's fucking wrestling.
Who gives a fuck?
Be determined. It doesn't matter if her whole body hit the fucking mat.
Who gives a
Because
fuck?
they would have had a way to turn that shit around. All right.
So-
Bianca was the one. Now, if they're going to use that as a storyline, that'd be cool. It's a cool story. But Bianca won. Shut up.
Here's the thing. You fucking losers. If you've been watching the product, you know for a fact that they were about to strap the rocket on Bianca. When she got drafted by SmackDown, and when they had all those vignettes and promos, you knew for a fact, oh, she's going to get a push. And then on top of that, she got put over by the Women's Wrestler of the Year of 2020.
Bailey.
She got put over by Bailey. So you knew for a fact she was going to win that Rumble. So the fact that you try to look for an excuse, oh, well, her feet touch, who gives a fuck? We all knew she was going to win. And rightfully so.
She deserved to win. She got the win. And look, and I was going to talk about this with both of these matches, this one and then the next one we'll talk about. When a botch like that happens in a match, so like Bianca's feet hit the floor.
What the fuck?
First of all, that is a very hard thing to like just hang on those ropes like they do. It's bound to happen at some point, and she pulled it up quick enough to where really it wasn't noticeable. But that one, and then you had KO and Roman. I'll go ahead and break that down real quick. Roman,
and she was doing that the whole night too.
Roman ends up getting his arm stuck. He's handcuffed. The ref stops counting, lets Paul Heyman finish getting the handcuffs uncuffed, and then he starts trying to count again, but then the count's broke because Roman's now standing up.
Okay,
Look, in both of those cases, what do you want the ref to do?
What do you want him to
Because
do?
it is a pre-planned finish. KO is supposed to lose.
It's a
Rhea
fucking
Ripley is supposed to lose.
They
You
could have
can't-
had Ripley just like Ripley wins, but when it's at first off that shot, the reason that is done like that is so just in case her feet do touch, you can't fucking tell.
Right.
If you go back and watch the actual video, there is not a point where her feet actually do seem to touch at the same time. But if the camera was like closer to the ground, maybe where her feet like kind of like close to the ground as you can get, you probably would have seen her feet touch. And that is
It doesn't
shot
matter.
like this for a reason.
Here's the
But
thing.
again, it
At
does
the
not
end of the
matter.
day, she
The
was
ref-
supposed to win. She won.
The ref's not
Maybe-
making that call in the moment. You just can't put that on a ref to make the call in the moment and change the course of. I mean, eventually, yes, they would have found a way to get Bianca into the match at WrestleMania because that was where they were headed. But that ref's not going to make that in like a split second and say, you know what, I'm calling Rhea the winner right now. Same thing with Roman and KO. He's not going to just keep counting. Well, guess Roman's losing his title tonight. Nobody cares about that push that he was getting. No, like the ref's not going to lose his job, which is what would happen if he just randomly went off. of what was happening in front of him.
He's gone then.
Here's the thing. Also, the big piggyback off of Mike said, you knew they were going to strap the belt on Bianca's back. Who was in the final of the Women's Royal Rumble last year? Fucking Bianca. One of the last three was Shayna, Charlotte, Bianca.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You knew it was coming.
And
Plain and simple.
Not only that, they cheated out the Survivor Series win for a fucking Lana moment. She could have won the whole Survivor Series SmackDown shit on her own, but they were fucking focused on Lana, which was it was a stupid ass win.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I appreciate Charlotte not going over in this match because I think we were all worried when it got down to final three that somehow she was going to somehow win again. But like she has a path to a title match at Mania that's already built in with having the tag titles with Asuka. So you don't need to have her win the Rumble to get her in a title match if you want her in a title match.
Right.
Bianca or Rhea, whoever you want to go in a title match at Mania, you need them to win the Rumble to really get there. That's how you get them into that match. You don't need to do that with Charlotte. So I appreciated that. And then I thought the other funny moment from this match was when Shayna and Nia were working together and Tamina comes in and Nia's like, oh, that's family. Like, I can't turn off family.
And then she just hits her with the,
and then all of a sudden,
gotta go down.
See you later, family. And then she had to explain
honestly
to
should lead to another feud later on.
Yeah.
The whole Rhea Ripley thing, I get it. If you're a Rhea Ripley fan, I'm a Rhea Ripley fan. She got screwed over last year. She did. Should have won a Mania. Should have definitely not been the one to take that loss on Triple Threat.
Nope.
And she never regained her momentum. They fucked her over.
Probably wouldn't have lost at Mania if not for the pandemic.
That's possible. She was probably going into that match. She was probably one of the most exciting baby faces they had, and really the whole fucking fan base was behind her.
She was on fire,
and they screwed her. So yeah, I understand wanting to have Rhea get that moment. I get it, but there were two women that should have won this Rumble. Rhea's one of them. Bianca's the other one.
Mm-hmm. And they had the right one win.
And Rhea is already a star. Rhea was the first UK champion and the first woman to hold both the UK and the NXT Women's Championship. She's fine. She'll be okay. This has not hurt her one bit. The right option was Bianca. They got it right.
And to me, Rhea being the one, because she had the most eliminations, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think this gives her momentum back. Yeah. Good job, Mike. I think this gives her momentum back, too. That, like, you realistically could find a way to get her into a high-profile Mania match if you really wanted to, just based on how her performance went. Because she looked like her, Bianca, and Charlotte looked like the three best in the entire company right now. And it showed while they were there at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it all
boils
down
to, man. Just enjoy this ride. It's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's gonna get her time to shine, but right now it's all about Bianca because damn it, she is a star. She is a star.
Homegrown star.
Homegrown star. Yeah. She has everything. That is someone you put a belt on quick, and hopefully they do it at Mania.
And you know what's going to happen after that?
Lose the Charlotte.
No, they're going to put a belt on her husband because he has the same thing that she has. It.
Yeah, he does. That is a fucking talented couple. Jesus Christ. I didn't think about that.
They have kids, but they're not theirs together. He has kids on his own that are not hers. So imagine when they do have a kid. That is going to be a super kid.
Holy shit!
Next WWE star in 20, 30 years.
Oh my god!
When they decide to have a kid together, that is going to be a super kid. You got a fucking track and field athlete and a military man having a fucking kid together, who both became fucking superstar wrestling athletes.
I mean, they like the fucking water. I mean, Jesus, they just seem natural to them.
It's so easy. It's really, honestly, Bianca and Montez personas are so easy to them, and them in the ring, they really make things look very effortlessly. Like, I can honestly say Bianca's first two or three matches, she looked a little green.
Yeah.
She looked a little green her first two matches. After that, God.
But you
They
knew.
really put the belt on her.
But you knew.
Quick.
After those couple matches, after those first couple matches, but you knew, like, oh yeah.
And they have to capitalize on homegrown talent. That's the thing. When you have this level of homegrown talent, you have to capitalize because it shows how good your performance center is, and it shows you how good NXT is. And if you continue to build that, you're going to continue to have generations of wrestlers be able to come through there and continue to elevate your product.
SmackDown is doing that. Look at their two top champions, Biggie and Roman. Both came through FCW, which is now NXT.
Yep. You have got to continue to showcase your homegrown talent. Look, I love the indie darlings that we get to come through, and I enjoy that as much as anybody. I like the big names that have come from like Impact, like AJ Styles. I love that. But where they have to consistently build and showcase is through their homegrown talent.
Exactly.
I have an interesting comparison with Bianca. It is not to another woman, it's to a man. A man at one point, before he got to a situation, was a superstar in the making. Dream. She's the female version of him. I'm talking about like the persona, very eccentric, very out there, and it makes it look easy. Like when you look at Dream, he makes it look easy. Like his athletic gifts makes it look easy, just like Bianca. The character, it immediately got over because they put the effort into it. They made it work.
Oh, we can definitely give. Reggie said, "Can we give a shout out to Mark Henry for his eye for talent? He discovered Bianca and Braun."
Yeah.
We can definitely give Mark Henry his credit for that. We can definitely give Mark Henry his credit for that. Just to piggyback off of you with the whole Dream thing, Bianca is also like Dream because honestly, you don't really know if they're a heel or a face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They are legit tweeners.
Dream is a heel in life.
Right. Dream is a monster in life, but that's another story. Okay. You know what? Here's the thing. Until we have legitimate proof that he's a monster, I can't say anything about the man.
Fair.
Until we have legitimate proof that he's a monster, I won't say anything about Pat.
And that's why I was trying to keep it in the wrestling context only. So, because mind you, Dream was challenging for the NXT title, never won it, but he became North American champion and had a pretty good run with it. He was
he would have won that championship.
And honestly, like if you're talking about homegrown talent, Dream is near the top of actual talent. Like we won't speak about his other stuff outside of the ring, but in the ring, I don't know that there's ever been somebody at like his age come into the business as well as he did.
And
hold on. I got one person that might rival him as far as homegrown talent, but they do not have the athletic skill that he might have, but they definitely possess everything else that he has.
Miz.
Bray Wyatt.
His been around.
Bray had been around the business, though, right? Dream had never really been around the business. Is that correct?
But hold on, just
No.
because your parents are wrestlers doesn't necessarily mean you've been around the business. Because you got to think about it. Some people who have parents.
Homegrown. He started out in FCW.
Yeah, Bray has always been homegrown.
He's all WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Bray has always been homegrown,
Yeah.
from his husky character to everything. Bray has been always homegrown, and just to think, there have been plenty of superstar and athletes who
Husky was before Bray, right?
Velveteen Dream. Is
He wasn't as good as Husky. Like what I'm saying, like Dream walked into it and was star level.
Hold on, listen to what Mongo just said.
Dream is not a homegrown talent. Dream did not start with Tough Enough for WWE. He worked for 2 years
Okay.
in Maryland Championship Wrestling as Rick Powers. Won the tag titles, and I think he won a world title there.
Interesting. They've always pushed him as homegrown, right?
But because he was so young. I mean, this is 2014.
Yeah, that's true. He was like what, 12
He
years
was
old.
Tough Enough also.
2014. He was 17, 16 when this happened.
Yeah.
So
And
I
not to
guess
mention,
that from 18 and up, he's been with them.
and not to mention, he was on Tough Enough.
He wasn't tough enough, yeah.
And got kicked off for the same thing that is making him a star right now, being cocky.
Yep.
Because
But
Hulk
yeah.
didn't like that shit.
So they could keep ZZ.
Who is where now?
Oh, fuck him.
But yeah,
Hold on. Wasn't Luchasaurus on Tough Enough too?
Yes, he was.
He was, yeah, because he did he win Tough Enough, or he got a contract through Tough Enough?
He did not win Tough Enough. Joshua Brettel, a.k.a. the Sasquatch, won Tough Enough. And
He
he's
ended up getting but Luchasaurus got a contract
Who
through.
is the
so
Sasquatch?
Luchasaurus got a contract after Tough Enough, if I'm not mistaken. But then he got
Fuck
hurt. He hurt his
Lucha.
shoulder.
Fuck
Look,
Lucha.
Then he went on
Who
Big
is
Brother.
Sasquatch?
all right. Hold on. Josh Brettel, best known in WWE under his name Bronson Matthews, won the 6th season of Tough Enough, winning a 1-year contract. He was going to start working out with NXT, but made a inappropriate or offensive tweet about the social outcasts as social jobbers, which caused severe heat by Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. He was banned from the NXT locker rooms, and then he quit the business.
The social outcast. Who the fuck is that?
That was
That
Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, and two.
Ryback?
No, Heath
No.
Slater. I
Curtis
think.
Axel.
Curtis
Okay,
Axel.
but was his tweet wrong? But
social okay. Okay,
was
I
his
remember
tweet
that.
wrong?
Yeah.
Was
He wasn't
his
wrong,
tweet
but it's
wrong?
like it's like I guess you just don't say. I don't fucking know.
They are. It was a group of jobbers.
The other winner was Sarah Lee,
Who?
who was married to Wesley Blake.
So,
By the way, let's go over this real quick.
Lee.
So let's just talk about this. We need to get back to the Rumble, but real quick. Tough Enough season 6 had Mandy Rose, Chelsea Green, Velveteen Dream, Luchasaurus.
Damn, that is good.
And none of them won. And none of them motherfuckers won.
Chelsea was out. It's 10 rounds. Chelsea's out in round 7. Dream's out in round 5. Let's see. God, if I can look at real fucking names. Amanda Saga. Mandy made it to runner-up. And then Luchasaurus.
Austin something.
It was season 6, wasn't it?
But you know what?
Was he not on Tough Enough?
He was on Tough Enough, I thought.
No, he wasn't. He was in NXT for a little while, but as Judas He was in NXT for a little while, but as Judas Devlin.
Yeah.
But he was not in Tough Enough.
Here's the thing. But Luchasaurus, honestly.
Wow. It's a hell of a name.
The right choice was made. Him being in WWE wouldn't work. Him being in WWE wouldn't. Not even as Luchasaurus.
Oh, he teamed with Corey Graves.
Listen, the last time we had a Saurus or a Dactu.
That's Josh Brettel. That's the guy that won Tough Enough Season 6.
Who?
A Sasquatch.
A Sasquatch.
That's old Sasquatch.
He almost looked like Canyon.
That's Mr. You can't come to the NXT locker room.
Who better than Canyon? All right, we need to get back to the Rumble.
Hold on, damn it. Let me finish my point. God.
Right.
Anyway, we need to get back to the Rumble.
Let me finish my fucking point, damn it. The point I was going to make, and I'm going to finish real quick, was that because Dream got in trouble, that rocket that they was going to put on him, they put it on the female version of him. And she has capitalized ever since. And that's even without winning the NXT Women's title.
Which she should have won.
But she should have fucking won.
She should have won at one of her 3 matches.
She should have been the one.
She should have beat Shayna for it.
Right. She should have been the one to beat Shayna.
So the fact that she recovered from all that, got called up, is now going to fucking WrestleMania? Yo, that is a superstar right there.
And you gotta think about it. Her and Banks, it's money.
That's the money man.
Yo, Mike, I'm gonna say
they're
something.
making history.
Mike, I'm gonna say something, and you ain't gonna like it, yo. We all know Bianca fine. Right or wrong? Can we all agree on that? Bianca's fine. We all agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Bianca's ears are the size of some 18-inch rims, bro.
That's fine. He has screws and everything.
Bianca got some 18-inch rim ears, bro. Like, I noticed that shit Sunday. I was like, yo.
Bro, Mella does too.
She got the Will Smiths.
I can't stand this man.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Cut his mic, please.
Hold on. I did not take away from anything of her beauty. I just said that she has some Will Smiths.
It don't matter. When it comes to Bianca, I am sensitive.
She got a permanent pair of Beats by Dre on.
Can't stand you, bro.
She got the studio Beats by Dre. Oh, baby girl. You got the studio Beats by Dre, baby girl.
Listen.
That is a fire picture. That is fucking black magic at its best right there.
True.
Look at that black girl magic at its best right there in that picture. That is beautiful.
True. My baby has hubcaps for ears. That's true. But God damn it.
She got the gold BBSs. Like Ace had. It fucking paid it for. She got the gold BBSs.
You ain't shit.
All right, now that we've offended Owen Hart fans and Bianca Belair fans, let's go to the
match. Ladies and gentlemen, all hate mail, bring that shit my way because I got some more for you if you need some.
Listen. There's probably no bigger Bianca fan than me, okay? Yes.
Go on.
Yo, especially when she wear the gold bamboo earrings, she got the gold BBSs, bro. It's the gold BBS.
Right, come on. Baby. But she got some big ass ears. Kenny's not wrong.
The Universal Championship match. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns.
Other than that fucking 10-second fuck up, awesome fucking match.
Honestly, match of the night.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, match of the night. It was the best match. I don't know if it was close.
Another fucking war.
That was the best golf cart spot in a year.
Oh, he ran him
One of
the
them.
fuck over.
The best.
The fuck over.
The best.
You know, they stole it from AEW. I mean, W. So
So what? Listen, if you steal something and make it better, it's yours.
First off, no,
That's how I feel.
First off, no, they didn't.
They didn't steal it from him. WWE's been doing this for like 30
He's
years.
been using that spot for a while. Since
And even
WrestleMania, like 17.
But yeah, they stole it from AEW.
And even if they did steal it from AEW, if you steal it from somebody and you make it better, it's yours now.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it.
KO, KO threw himself into it, but he was like, I'm going to get a piece. And just punched Roman through the glass in the face. Like he fucking back-fisted it. But you're going to hit me where I'm going to fucking boom. And just.
That was a cool spot. When he jumped off the forklift was a really cool spot.
I thought he was going to put the forklift on top of Roman so Roman could get up.
That's what I thought too.
I got kind of nervous when I saw that shit. I said, "Oh, I know where this is going. He's going to put that forklift."
Then I saw the little pad on top, and I was like, "Oh, he's jumping."
Right.
I thought
That's what.
like the what is it? Was it The Rock and Mick Foley at
Yeah, when he put the
Yeah.
shit on so he couldn't get up.
Mhm.
That's what I thought was going to happen at first. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Roman might be losing this, and we bench KO."
Then when
Shit.
he threw KO,
Right.
when they were up on the Thunderdome where the screens are, and he threw KO through the tables, another just great spot. But it was a really for all these great spots that we're talking about, it was a well-paced match. Everything felt so intentional. I loved the trash talk that they had in as they're beating each other up after the golf cart part, and he's like, "Your granddad wouldn't appreciate, they'd be so disappointed in who you are, Kevin." And then all of a sudden, Kevin Owens snaps and just starts beating up Roman. It was phenomenal storytelling.
You know why?
It's what happens when you have two people who can talk on the mic and wrestle and get in the match together.
Yep.
That is exactly what happens. You have two people who can talk on the mic. And we've always made fun of Roman with that suffering succotash shit. But he had to do that shit because that was the character. That was the character that was written for him. Now that he's on his own, you see what we looking like.
And apparently, Roman, Paul, and DB are doing their own shit.
Yeah, they're the only ones. They're the only ones besides Kevin Dunn who can get next to Vince to pitch Vince what the fuck they want to do.
What this means is whenever Roman says something,
Goes.
Roman wanted to say. Which means Roman's been a fucking grade A mic worker for years, and we just didn't know it.
That's the frustrating part, is that he's been held back so much, which is giving him more barriers to have to jump over, in my opinion.
Whoa. Legit deja vu, because you know why? This is a legit parallel to Rocky Maivia into The Rock.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Die Rocky die. Roman sucks.
Yeah.
Shield Roman and Rocky Maivia might be the same person. Head of the Table and The Rock are the same person.
And I think that
Except Head of the Table has better moveset, has more of a moveset.
it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to know what we could have had with Roman all this time.
Roman's better than The Rock. Yeah, we fucking said it.
I said it.
If we could go back in time, right, and relive Roman versus Brock, but with Roman being able to say what he wanted to say to Brock and say to Heyman, that feud would have been it was already good, but it would have been unreal. The level to which it could have gone if it could have been Paul versus Roman in mic battles, elevating that feud between him and Brock.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Imagine,
I don't think.
imagine-
Hold on, no. I'm sorry. I gotta rebut you. You know why? It's harder to get a reaction being a face than it is a heel.
Oh no! I don't think he could have had to be a face. He could have been a tweener at that point, writing stuff on his own, doing his own promos, and could have come. Look, I'm the only badass here in WWE that can take out your boy Brock.
It would have sound corny coming from a face.
But if he had the ass kicking character,
Justin, how many times have we had a face say, "I'm gonna be the one to kick your ass"?
Yeah,
and it sound corny.
But if he had the similar character to what he had, where he's just going around kicking ass,
they couldn't have been a similar character. They couldn't have been. If that's going to be the character, then he's heel, because this character is all heel. If you got Shield Roman that we had facing Brock, that Roman was a face. Mm-hmm. Yes, he was beating people up, but he was only beating up heels. He was in the back with doing this with the good guys and stuff like that. So him talking shit would have looked just like suffering succotash. Anytime a good guy talks shit, it looks like suffering succotash unless it is something personal that is attacked. If it's something personal that is attacked, then that heel can slightly break character to be on some, yo, I'm going to fuck you up.
I thought
that's the only time that we can get a face go. We go, oh, he really said that as a face. Oh, but overall, when a face plays tough, he looks corny.
Yeah, I thought Roman's best work against Brock was when he started really attacking the fact that he was there every week, where Brock was a part-timer.
But he started getting corny.
It did after a while.
When a Roman speaks reality, that's when he's at his best.
And you can't do that as a face. You cannot speak reality as a face. You
because
cannot do it.
Heels speaking the hard truth is what makes a good heel.
Right.
Roman is a great because he's speaking the facts. He's being a dick about it, but that's the hard truth.
You know what? I think. Remember when he first came back after, his treatments?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's we began to see the beginnings of the topic at hand about him having creative control. Because right after that, even though he was still getting a positive crowd reaction, you could tell he really wasn't fucking with it. He was towing the line between face heel, and he was starting to talk more shit, like real shit.
Because he was also paying attention to. He started after he came back. He started paying attention to the boos that he was getting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As a face, they teach you not to pay attention to that shit and keep going. He started paying attention to the boos. Like, okay, yeah, I'm getting a lot of cheers for this, but I still hear y'all loud and clear, you bagel bite motherfuckers. I hear y'all loud and clear.
And it made it so much better.
So that's when
it made it so much better.
So that's like really the origins of this tribal chief character, the tribal chief version of him, when he came back from getting his chemo treatments for leukemia. They started planting the seeds right then and there.
When he brought that up, like, was it last week? I didn't think I could hear him talk about that and not be like really sympathetic. But the way he talked about that shit, God, I want someone to kick him in the nuts. I wish Brian Myers was there. Like, he makes like battling leukemia seem like he's fucking like bragging about like he's an asshole. I don't know how he does it, but it's just
listen. It's perfect though. It's absolutely perfect, Justin. The only way that feud that you're talking about would have worked with Roman and Heyman going at each other, I feel, is if it would have led to an earlier Roman heel turn. The only way that would have worked is if the eventual payoff, Paul
turns on.
We've been begging for that for years.
Yeah, Paul turns on Brock. But that would have been having Roman do the talking there instead of what the fake stuff that we didn't enjoy from Roman on the mic. If we could have gotten real Roman, and real Roman just looks at Paul and tells him, if you want to get with the winner and you want to continue to have your spoiler alerts be correct, then you need to join my table. And that's how you get to Roman being a heel, beats Brock, and then Brock goes off and does nothing, and we don't have to worry about him anymore. That's where it should have gone.
You don't even have to do that, because I'm gonna be honest, Paul is the master of heel turns. Paul is the master of heel turn. Brock versus fucking Big Show. None of that led up to anything until Paul decided to get Big Show steel chair. Like and it was perfect. Like you don't even have to have Roman saying all of that. But like I said, that would have been the only way that would have worked. That would have been the only way that would have worked.
It gets you to the Roman having creative control is what I was getting at. Is if he starts that heel turn and it's not Paul directing the heel turn.
But like I said, him being a face talking shit, it's not going to work.
Needed it to end in the heel turn for it to work.
Right. It would have had to eventually end in a heel turn. Because, like I said, good guys talking shit only works on two separate occasions. One,
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No. I'm talking about actual instances. Like one, the heel injures the face to where the face is out for a while, or the heel does something personal to a face's family member. That's the only two times where a face can actually, quote unquote, break character and give some real shit real quick, and we'll pop for it. Other than that, anytime a face tries to look bad and tough, you're like, yeah. I think the only face that was able to probably look tough was Hulk Hogan. That's because he was screaming at us.
I just found that as kind of a side note. So you know how Murphy just hasn't been on TV since the whole Aaliyah thing happened?
Yeah, that's because he was with a 14-year-old.
Maybe I can see that.
Not that one bit.
Best kept secret again.
Oh.
Good shit.
Now, a few years ago, Roman and DB were feuding. And they put someone over. Even though he beat one of them, they put him over really big. As Buddy Murphy.
Yep.
What if Buddy Murphy joins Roman's table?
Mm-hmm. I think that's not a good look for Buddy right now, because then it looks like you just hopping from. You have nothing else for. I mean, it kind of looks like you are. It's showing that you have no direction. Even though we know creative has no direction for you, it's showing you have no direction. Like you're looking for a new leader. You went from Seth, now you're going to Roman.
To Ray to Roman.
Right. You went from Seth to Ray to Roman. Like you're looking for someone to follow, and you can't follow, and you can't find anyone to follow. The one person that they need to have eventually go into this, they need to have Apollo.
I think that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Also, if you can just pay MLW whatever money they want,
Fatu ain't going nowhere.
Get that big motherfucker to SmackDown.
That's not going. But here's the thing: what they would wind up doing is introducing Fatu as a henchman for Roman, who's eventually going to turn on him.
Right.
That's going to be the storyline.
Or it could just be because Fatu's whole thing is he's the black sheep of the family. He's been disowned from the family. So you'd have him come in and immediately challenge Roman.
So you basically have Fatu come in and be Killmonger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Become the new head of the table.
And then in that sense, you get face Roman again.
Yes. But I think at that point it might be able to work. When you have someone like Fatu in there, it might work.
I don't ever want face Roman again.
You don't think so? It's going to happen sooner rather than later.
Face
Roman's going to happen.
Or since
the only way
been fed up with who was it? Jay, right? It was Jay.
Yeah.
Since he's never happy with Jay, you bring in the younger brother. Well, look, I finally got somebody confident.
Oh, he feuds with Jay instead to take his rightful spot as the right-hand man to Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Could.
That's good shit.
and then you put Jake face again to take on Roman, and get back to that storyline.
Which it could go back to.
Well, then that hopefully would get you back to the Usos being a tag team.
Yeah. Holy shit, we got to finish this Rumble thing up. All right.
So I might be the only person that wants the Usos to go 1-on-1 against each other.
We got to have it at least once. Because we all thought Jimmy would be like, if they were ever going to break them up, people always thought it was going to be Jimmy. That was going to be the one to break away. Jay had his time to prove he'd be fine on his own.
I still can't tell them apart.
Here's the thing. I need them to go driving. I need to go 1-on-1, and I need to be Naomi the reason for it. By her getting in her husband's head, telling her, "Look, he's been holding you back this whole fucking time."
Yeah.
And I need heel Naomi, and I need heel Jay.
Huh.
Pretty fun.
Okay. All right. Let's finish up the Rumble real quick. So Edge won the Rumble by last eliminating Randy Orton. Orton was out for the majority of the match. Fake injury, came back, RKO'd Edge, but still got thrown out. Edge, I know you've got a rant.
I think we all want to rant, but yeah.
Do we?
I know people wanted it to be DB or Big E or Nakamura. And those all would have been great options.
Keith Lee, if he hadn't gotten COVID and I hadn't gotten screwed.
Fuck off. Look, for such a long time, they gave us the worst choice. Edge is not a bad option. Is he the best option? Probably not. But Edge going against Roman and giving Roman an extra little shine there by having him beat up a legend that came back from a severe neck injury is something. Or
shut the fuck up. Let's go. Shut the fuck up. I've been waiting for this to go. Shut the fuck up.
Go.
Shut the fuck up. Play this.
On the off chance to do something crazy, Finn Balor. What I'm saying.
Shut the fuck up.
What I'm saying is, there's good can come out of this.
Look at fucking Mike.
All right, now you can go.
Shut the fuck up, you bald-headed bitch. First and foremost, check this shit out. There's absolutely no fucking way somebody who has only had their third fucking match back should be the fucking winner of the goddamn Royal Rumble. Absolutely none. Absolutely fucking none. I don't give a fuck what type of legend you are. You are literally shitting on everyone who has been there this whole fucking pandemic, risked their fucking health, risk being with their fucking families, everything, just so you can get your fucking ego out the way. That's what this is all about. This is fucking Edge's ego. Because guess what? Edge was the one who pitched the fucking idea to Vince with him winning and him winning the fucking belt. This is all about Edge's fucking ego. This is to put nobody over. This is to make anybody else fucking look good. You wanted to make him look good? You could have had what you did. You could have had him come in at number 1 and number 2, last a long fucking time, but there is no reason why he should have fucking won. Who is he putting over? People that are already fucking over? Who? What sense does it make? How do you put over people that are already fucking over?
And there's no guarantee he won't not win at Mania.
And then if you win it, what's going to happen? You're going to have an old fucking champ that nobody's going to fucking want again. You have him in a position to put people over who are already over. Every fucking champion for every part of WWE is fucking over. Finn is fucking over. Roman is fucking over. Drew is fucking over. Who is he putting over? His win is pointless. Absolutely fucking pointless.
We have our best champs, literally, maybe ever, or at least that I can remember in the last 7 or 8 years. The best grouping, as I said earlier, the best grouping of champions we've had in a very, very long time. Drew, Roman, Big E, Lashley, Finn, all the big major titles right now are controlled by guys that, like Kenny said, are already over. Who are you elevating with Edge?
Who are you giving that rub to? Who needs that rub?
And if he beats one of them, it's even more of a problem.
Who needs the rub? Who? Greg. Who needs that rub? Who?
I seem to recall a match that took place WrestleMania 18.
Bitch, we are in WrestleMania 37.
The top guy that was already over and already a multiple-time world champion and was probably going to Hollywood soon. The Rock facing Hulk Hogan. And it being one of the most exciting stories in professional wrestling.
No, Mongo.
That's icon versus icon.
Mongo. Exactly. You're putting icon versus icon. At that point in time, also you're talking about The Rock, who was a legit mainstream movie star. Edge is a TV superstar that some people don't even know where the fuck Haven was. You know how I know what Haven is? Because my fucking wife watched that show. I never watched the fucking episode. That's how I knew his name was fucking Dwight on that show.
Missed out a good show. It was a good show.
That Hogan Rock is era versus era. Like legend
versus Cena versus Rock.
This is era.
No.
Edge
If you want to do era versus era, then Mongo, team him up with Christian and then have him fight another top tag team. That is what he would be era versus era for. And it better not be for a championship.
Hey, as much as you don't like
Cena's
the better era.
Who the fuck is he putting over?
Cena is the better era representative. I'm sorry. Cena is the better era representative.
Also, that he's already fought Cena.
It doesn't. It's still not the same. Like, it's just not an era versus era for me.
No.
Because Edge was never at that level.
Rock and Hogan against Edge and whoever the fuck he wants to choose is not the same thing. No. Who is Edge putting over? Mongo. What rub is he getting? Who's he giving a rub to? He's giving a rub to who? Roman, who has Roman rubbed ego. Roman fucking pause. Roman rubbed himself. If you really want to put it, Roman pretty much rubbed himself by catching cancer, beating that shit, and coming back. He rubbed himself. If you really want to know the truth. Drew rubbed himself by beating Brock and fucking Goldberg. Drew got those rubs. Finn was the first fucking Universal Champion. You don't need another fucking rub other than that.
Drew rebounded from
longest
three-man band.
Longest fucking NXT championship. And then went back to NXT and took over. He doesn't need a rub.
Drew was given three-man band. And he came back from that to be what he is now.
Who is Edge putting over? What purpose does he have? Unless Edge plans on going down to 205 pounds and taking that fucking cruiserweight belt, he has no fucking purpose of winning the Royal Rumble.
That's true.
He has no purpose of winning the Royal Rumble than his own ego. But the fact that he is the one who pitched himself is the one who pitched the idea of him winning the Royal Rumble and possibly winning the belt shows ego.
I understand that.
I just don't know how if it was Goldberg, we would all be pissed, right? Mongo included.
No, those are two totally different things.
How? They wrestled the same amount of fucking
the same
time.
thing.
It's the same story, too.
It's the same
time.
It's the same story.
Spear.
You're fucking bugging. You're bugging.
It's Spear versus Spear, Legend versus.
No, that's not the story. The story is not Spear versus Spear. The story is that Edge he never lost his championship. He was forced to relinquish it due to a neck injury. After 9 years, he comes back and has a chance.
Guess what happened? Daniel Bryan had a stupid neck as well. And before he got a fucking just started championship, he had matches building up to his championship. Why couldn't Edge do the fucking same shit?
Because Edge got hurt again when they had to take 5
doesn't deserve
Point.
spot.
Point taken, though.
Okay,
He got hurt again.
Okay, bitch, you can't fucking last on a one-on-one match. You're gonna get hurt.
It was over 2 hours of taping the same fucking spot. We talked about that on
Mongo.
here. It was stupid.
Mongo, you're giving Edge a fucking excuse because you like Edge. That's what it's all about. You like Edge, so you're giving him a fucking excuse. Answer my original question. Who the fuck is Edge giving the rub to? Answer that question.
Him losing to Roman is not
Answer
bad.
that fucking question.
Roman.
Who the fuck is he giving the rub to?
Roman doesn't need it.
Bitch, you have
Roman
lost your
doesn't need
mind.
If he doesn't need it,
You have lost your mind. Roman is a bigger star than Edge is. Period. Roman is a bigger star than Edge is. Period.
Now, yes.
In his fucking heyday, Roman is still a bigger star than Edge was in his fucking heyday.
No.
Not for nothing.
Yes.
No.
You want to know why? And I'm going to tell you why. And I hate to say it, it's because of fucking cancer. Roman beat something that a majority of the world is dealing with. Roman is a bigger star than what Edge ever was in his fucking heyday. If for nothing else alone, for that alone.
Doesn't make him that doesn't make him a star.
That makes him fucking internationally known everywhere in the fucking world because an athlete came back from something like that and won.
Mm-hmm.
Edge was on TV when
Edge's injury was not life-threatening. Cancer is taking out people left and right, Mongo. End of story. That's gonna make him a bigger star. The fact that somebody came back from something that can take your life away.
I'm not comparing his neck injury to cancer.
But I'm saying I am, because the simple fact is that's showing proving my point on why Roman is a bigger star. Because he came from something that can possibly take his life away to being what he is right now. Roman is also a bigger star alone off of Edge for the other simple fact of he is The Rock's cousin. Let's keep it a buck. That alone is going to make him a bigger star.
And yet more people know who Edge is than Roman.
No, they do not. 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 No, they do not.
I know people that have not watched wrestling since
you walk into let Edge and Roman walk into the fucking Galleria Mall in Atlanta right now. Let Edge and Roman walk into the Galleria Mall right fucking now. Who is getting swarmed? Who?
By a younger audience, sure.
Younger audience, my ass. Who is getting swarmed?
Both.
No.
I'm not gonna look.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Kenny.
Greg, you don't want to admit it because you're an edgehead. It's cool. It's cool
Kenny,
that you're an edgehead. I don't dislike Edge. His winning is non-purpose. There is no purpose to his winning. Absolutely no purpose.
Option.
Suck my dick, you lost.
He's not the best option.
You lost your whole thing. You couldn't even answer my question for real. Roman? Yes. Roman.
How
Roman's already over.
Roman is over. I'll put it to you this way. I'll put it to you this way. Let's just take everything off. Let's just take wrestling off the table. And let's just take images that people see on social media. The women alone make Roman more popular than Edge.
I don't care about that. Will you let me talk about this, or are you just gonna keep talking over me?
You're wrong, but go ahead. You're wrong, but you go ahead. Yeah, you're wrong, but you go ahead.
This is all about giving Roman more heat. Now, if Edge wins that belt, I'll come on here and I'll say that I was wrong. You can hold me to that. I will. But this is all about giving Roman even more heat.
But if Edge wins,
you got a shut up. You got a Hall of Fame.
All of this you're saying is not going to matter.
If you have a Hall of Famer that just came back from a serious neck injury. If this was DB, it wouldn't be an issue. This guy just came back from a serious neck injury where he was losing feeling in his limbs. No, it wasn't life-threatening, but it could have led to paralysis. It was serious shit. And he was able to work his way back to his passion again. 9 years later.
So in 3 matches, he deserves to be the top. He deserves to be the top champion, the top challenger.
At least he didn't just get
3 matches. He deserves.
At least they didn't Ronda this where he just got it. Where Romeo said, "Hey, you know what, Edge? I want to defend this belt against you." He actually had to have a match to get it.
3 matches.
Goldberg
3 matches, and he deserves to be the champion. 3 matches, he deserves it.
2 matches, and then the Royal Rumble. That's the whole point of the Rumble. Comparing this to Goldberg is ridiculous because Goldberg walked out and just said, "Hey, Drew, you don't like legends. Give me a title shot." And he got it.
Goldberg is
Edge had to at least go through the Rumble.
That's why I said I don't mind that he would have made it probably to the Final 4. I would have been hyped if Edge made it to the Final 4 and got eliminated. I might be on here going, you know what? Edge needs a championship shot later on. I'm not even going to lie to that. If Edge would have made it to the Final 4, coming in at what? We came in at number 2 or number 1? I can't even remember. Whichever one he came in. If he'd have made it to like the final, if he'd have made it to the Final 4, my argument today would have probably been more than likely would have been at some point we need to get Edge versus somebody. Keywords at some point, not right now.
We are trying to. This is Mania, man. We're trying to get big matches, and it's a big returning star that people fucking love against your top heel. Who else are you get? Like, as much as we all love a lot of the other guys not Rumble, this is the one with the most star power. We're going to get Cena.
To be honest,
we're going to get The Rock. Why not do this?
To be honest, the match that they had at Royal Rumble with him and KO should have been in WrestleMania, and it would have been just as great. Could have been even greater. They could have did this match at Mania.
That's fine, but they didn't. So going forward, what was the match that you wanted at Mania for Roman?
Not this.
Daniel Bryan.
What did you want? Daniel Bryan. Why Bryan?
No, I don't even know if I wanted Daniel Bryan. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Who'd you want?
Me, honestly, personally, I would have wanted Cesaro.
You know that wasn't gonna happen.
I know it was not. You asked who I wanted.
Really?
Bitch, you just asked who I wanted. I tell you who I want. You say no. Bitch, take who I want.
Look, pick someone that was actually gonna have a chance to win the thing.
If anything, Nakamura.
You want Nakamura to win?
We could have had Nakamura win it because you know why?
And then would you have had Nakamura beat Roman?
No.
So you would have had Nakamura win the Rumble twice and lose at Mania twice.
I don't give a shit.
What's that do for Nakamura?
Hey.
What does that do for Nakamura if he comes back, builds up another run, wins the Rumble, and then loses at Mania again and is back to square one? When you can have Edge take that loss, it doesn't affect him. It's another big win for Roman.
And then Edge disappears. Edge disappears, right? So guess what you're doing now? You've given that Mania moment to somebody who's only been here for 3 matches, for somebody who's been working their ass off during a time when no one else could do shit.
Let's not act like this.
Let's act like for real. These people aren't kind of being rewarded for the work they've been doing during the pandemic, and it shouldn't happen.
Personally, I thought Big E versus Drew would have been better.
Versus Drew? Okay, but still, then who fights Roman?
They're a match to be made for Roman, But you don't have to. You don't have to get the Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
There it is. What's the match? Big E versus Drew is the match you can make through. Really, Keith Lee versus Drew would have been the match I wanted. But with Keith Lee out with COVID, Big E's the one you put in that place. And Edge can get to Roman without ever having to win the Rumble, just the way that Goldberg got to Drew.
And here's the thing. And you hold on. And the piggyback. Hold on, Mongo.
It's an issue.
Hold on, Mongo. To piggyback off of what Justin said, you're absolutely right. There could have been the winner of the Rumble did not have to be somebody from did not have to be somebody that could have faced Roman. It could have been a legit Raw person. That could have been the focus of the Rumble, the Raw side of it. Especially since it's been the weaker brand, let's at least make your Mania fucking strong.
You could have
you could have had anybody.
But if you have Big E win it, and then
you could have had a
he
legit
rejoins New Day on Raw, right?
That is definitely an angle they could have went. They could have had Big E
because they teased it at the beginning of the Rumble, like with them hanging out in the backstage, having on the Brody stuff. To me, that's the move you make. You have Big E win the Rumble. If you really want Edge Roman, if that's the route you want to go, Edge, all he has to do is show up on SmackDown and say, "Hey, I made it to the Final Four of the Rumble. I want my shot at you because I never lost my title." That is a perfectly fine story that you can tell.
And then you can have
having to give up the Rumble.
And then you can have
Hall of Famer ask for a shot again. We would have the same conversation.
No, because then you can have, since Edge wants to be full time, you can have Edge go into a full couple of matches with Jay. He could go into the Elimination Chamber. There are pay-per-views leading up to WrestleMania.
If he wins the number one contender match at Elimination Chamber, after he goes all the way to Final Four, and then you get to Edge versus Roman in a more natural way, and the way that Kenny's saying he's earned it at that point because he's had a lot of matches leading up to it, then that story is even better. But then on the other side, now Drew gets Big E. Big E's back with New Day, and now both sides become better.
Are we going to face Big E and face Drew?
Drew goes heel. You could go Drew heel.
You don't even have to do that. You don't even have to do that because you know why?
There's be a fight.
Exactly. Those are two horses.
Kenny,
those are just two horses. You do not have to have. You do not have to.
Your issue isn't that Edge is fighting Roman at Mania. Your issue is that he won the Royal Rumble.
My issue is he won the Royal Rumble, and now he has that fight at Mania. Like he has an automatic bid. I don't want you to have an automatic bid. Like I said, if Edge would have made it to the Final Four, and then I'd have been like, yo, Edge needs at some point to get a fucking match. Like I said, there are pay-per-views in between.
So it's just that he won the Rumble.
Yes,
he took over somebody's spot. He took somebody's spot
because the Rumble should go, in my opinion.
But is the spot somebody? The spot be facing Roman at Mania?
If the spot is facing Roman at Mania, then yes, I'm still mad Edge won.
But which is it? Which one?
No, I'll tell you right now. If the 100% spot is the winner is definitely facing Roman at the Royal Rumble, I am mad. I am mad that Edge won.
The Royal Rumble winner should be somebody that gets elevated by winning the Rumble. If you say Edge is this great big star, he doesn't need the Rumble to be elevated. He can go on a different path.
Rumble after he was already at his peak. It was one of the greatest Rumbles of all time.
But in recent
Rumble, he was already a world champion, multi-time champion.
At those point in time, those were the best wrestlers available. Edge is not the best wrestler available.
But I think now
he's not the best on the mic available. He's not the best in the fucking ring available. He's not.
But also the path to Mania.
This is his ego.
It's easier for somebody like Big E. Big E can't just demand a spot at Mania. It's just not as easy.
Justin, you're thinking too logically. This is WWE we're talking about. WWE and Logic, they don't mesh. Like, yes, you're right. That would be the ideal way to have someone like Edge get to Mania to face Roman. But this is WWE. They don't go by logic. They don't go by reasoning.
I don't want Edge facing Roman, period, for the belt at Mania. I feel there are other people who are more deserving. I feel there are way more people who are more deserving. I understand that he has come back from 9 years of injury. If that's the answer you're looking for, Mongo, there it is. I don't want Edge, period, facing Roman. I am tired of old timers coming back and taking the spots of younger people who have been competing and who have been busting their ass. There are people who have been competing and busting their ass, man.
It's kind of like what Mustafa Ali said on Raw Talk. It's kind of like what Mustafa Ali said on Raw Talk after they had the Legends show. It's great. The Legends paved the way for them. But when the fuck are they going to let them walk and earn their shit?
Basically.
So when Roman
They're there every day.
So when Roman fights Cena or The Rock next year, is that argument still valid, or is that different?
If it's not for the belt,
it will be for the belt.
No, it better not be. If it's for the belt,
he will be fighting The Rock for the belt in Hollywood.
Here's the thing, if it's for the belt, I'm having the same exact argument. Period. I do not feel anyone who is not there full time should get that fucking opportunity. Period. I'm the type of person. It shows in my genuine everyday work life. The way I feel is if I put in the work, I should be rewarded for it. And someone who's doing half of the work that I'm doing should not be fucking rewarded. That's the way I feel about this. If The Rock or whoever is facing Roman for the belt, mark my words, you will have the same exact rant, no matter how much I like the guy. Because don't get me wrong, I like Edge. I got shit. One of my favorite t-shirts is his t-shirt. I sing his song every time that shit comes on. Every time his fucking interest comes on, I do that shit in my house. I like Edge. Yes, I do. I am tired of Vince thinking that to keep his corporation and his business afloat, he needs these older wrestlers to put over these younger guys who are already over. And I'm tired of part-time people who are doing nothing, getting opportunities that are not deserved.
So if Edge had more matches before the Rumble,
if Edge had been there for if Edge was there for at least 4 solid months before the Rumble, my argument would have been slightly different. I'd have had an argument about him being old, but not about his work time there.
So what if Edge wrestles 3 matches a month until Mania?
Because he already has the shot built in now.
Right.
What's the point of earning it now that you got it?
Don't make a fucking difference. It's already there.
Yeah.
So,
at the end of the day, Edge got a title shot in 3 tries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also the fact that he pitched the idea according to like what Kenny was saying.
Exactly. That's also another thing too. He's the one that pitched the idea. So this is all coming from his own personal ego, which is what the problem is with a lot of these older wrestlers. Your ego, because you can't get over the fact that the younger wrestlers literally are making more money, being more successful, and being more recognized globally than you guys were.
And my thing is, like you said, Mongo, I'm glad he came back. Now he gets to retire on his terms.
Right.
Does he need the belt right away? A title shot? No. To use Edge to his best, to the best use of him, have him help put over these younger guys who are struggling. Give me Edge versus Cedric. Give me Edge versus that
would be a good match. That'd
Give
be a good
me
match.
Edge versus Mustafa.
Why would Edge fight Cedric?
I don't know why, but it would be a good match, though. It would be a good match. I don't know why, but it would be a good match.
Help elevate the younger guys. You already have your name. You're a legend. You already went into the WWE Hall of Fame. Help rub these younger guys that are in there and not getting over.
Again, that's thinking too logically.
No, that is not thinking logically. That is Cedric Alexander, who until 5 months ago was a loser.
What you call? Like I said. Hold on, Mongo. Like I said, the match would be good. The purpose of it, I don't know. The match is good. Don't get it wrong.
On wrestling ability, it would make sense.
Big E, sure. Seth Rollins, yeah, sure. Like that stuff's fine.
Yeah, Seth and Edge at Mania would have been fun.
There's some lower talent that it just.
Why did the Royal Rumble lead to that?
Yeah, Seth and Edge would have been
fun.
Why
didn't the Royal Rumble lead to Seth and Edge? That would have been amazing. And that is a WrestleMania matchup where it doesn't hurt anyone.
And again, I'm saying this. I'm not saying Edge is the best option. I've said that several times. That would have been better. Edge versus Seth Rollins would have been better because there's a lot of stuff built up between them. But this is what they want to go with. Just unless something really fucked up happens, it's going to be a good story.
No.
Don't hate it just from the outright.
No.
Why?
Mongo.
Why go into already hating it?
Mongo, you have to think at the end of the day, let's take this as a regular job. Let's take this with your let's just say you're working at FedEx. Okay? Let's just say this is a FedEx type of job, right? And you have the old timer who came back for seasonal. You've been working your ass off, great, doing what you have to do for the past couple of years at FedEx. This old timer who came back from seasonal, who used to be great, that everybody loved, came back from seasonal, just for seasonal, gets the managerial position over you. That's what happened with Edge and a lot of these wrestlers. Mm-hmm. If you want to put it in day-to-day basics, that's what happened. A seasonal managerial person who used to work there, that everybody loved, all the managers know them. Oh, we got Dwight coming, we got Adam coming back. Since we're gonna use Adam's real, we're gonna use his real name. We got Adam coming back. You know, he used to work this all the time. Blah, blah, blah. You thinking Adam is working the trucks just like you one day. 1 week, Adam is working the trucks like you. The next week, Adam is working the trucks like you, right? The week after that, Adam is a manager. How does that work?
That's a totally different world from what we're talking about.
I'm putting it into realistic terms because that's exactly what happened with Edge.
But it's
so hold on. So let's just say this. Okay. So we're gonna keep it in the UPS. We're gonna keep it in the FedEx terms. This is how we're gonna keep it in the FedEx terms so you can understand. There's Adam comes in for the seasonal. As seasonal comes down, the boss tells everybody, hey, there's a position to get the manager. Adam works 1 week with you. Adam works 2 weeks with you. Adam automatically gets the job because he knows the former boss. So now you know Adam is the new manager. But Adam is still going to load the trucks with you for a couple of days. Do you give a fuck that he's really loading the trucks with you for a couple of days? Or are you pissed that Adam is now the manager? So no matter how many matches Edge has between WrestleMania, at the end of the day, he already earned his managerial position.
That would, in this scenario, this guy has no prior experience at all in doing this.
I'm talking about you, motherfucker. Do you have prior experience?
They're talking about the guy working over me that's going to get the job from me. You're saying he comes in, he just knows the boss. I'm training him. because he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I didn't say no. Listen to what I said. I said you have Adam coming back, who the bosses know, the bosses love, but he's a seasonal worker, but he's coming back. He used to work there, but he's coming back as a seasonal worker. So as he's coming back as this seasonal worker, he gets the fucking opportunity you've been busting your ass for the past year and a half, when it was posted that there was a manager position coming up around this time. So you've been busting your ass to get the qualifications for the manager position. But Adam, who hasn't worked with your company for 9 years, but came in just for Christmas to deliver the Christmas packages, gets the manager position.
It's not even a comparable situation, though.
Gentlemen, do you think that is a comparable situation?
It's a comparable situation.
I don't care what anybody else on the show. I don't.
AEW.
I don't care what anybody else says.
AEW. Let's get to this
Right.
week.
Let's get to AEW, because we can stay on fucking Raw forever. AEW, ladies and gentlemen, the major shit that happened. We had fucking Kenta appear on fucking AEW and beat the monkey crap out of goddamn John Moxley. That is the major shit that happened. So we now know we officially looks like we have a working relationship with AEW, Impact, and New Japan.
And NWA.
Yeah, and NWA. You gotta include NWA because they do work with them. WWE. I don't know if you know this or not. You're in fucking trouble.
Doesn't Kenny Omega also own the AAA championship?
Yeah, they were AAA as
They're
well.
working with AAA too.
Yeah.
So they're working with everybody.
Every
WWE.
major company in other countries and 2 companies in the U.S.
And WWE, what you fail to realize is New Japan put out a huge statement today, as a matter of fact. We still have a perfectly fine working relationship with ROH. So WWE, whether you realize this or not, every wrestling promotion that has some type of television time is working together against you.
They are turning into
Worlds
Megatron.
are colliding.
They are turning into Megatron. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for a war, I guess. I mean, shit. At this point, they need to try and treat NXT differently because they've been treating NXT like still developmental since this whole thing started. And I think Ken's frozen. Now you kind of need to.
He was looking like the Undertaker right there.
You're glad I couldn't hear you.
Now we really need to. It's time to put some big guns in NXT.
Yeah.
Because I mean, right now you're blowing out of the water.
They don't have a choice.
Or they're going to have to move their day for NXT.
Which I really don't want them to do, just because they had the day first. Damn it! I don't care what AEW fans say.
I mean,
it would be the ultimate white flag if they move it, though, right? Like that would.
Oh yeah.
It really wouldn't matter the day they move it because you got Impact on Tuesdays, and then whatever shit New Japan or whatever that might as well be on Thursdays, and then on Mondays you still got ROH.
If they go on a Tuesday, then people get mad at them for trying to kill Impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look, AEW knew what they were doing when they went on Wednesdays. They knew for a fact they were going to be landing on the same day that NXT was there. And for some reason, AEW fans believe that NXT got there second. I don't know why, but they do. So if NXT moves to another day, that is the white flag.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if ROH doesn't show up soon. Just to flex that.
If you can get the Briscoes the Good Brothers, the Tongans, and the Bucks on a pay-per-view, that alone
That's a supercard right there.
is a supercard.
Yeah, like the only day that would work for NXT would be Thursdays. Can't move on Monday, you got Raw. Can't move on Friday, you got SmackDown. Like you just said, Mongo, if they move to Tuesday, they'll get blamed for trying to kill Impact.
Which at this point, I don't know if they want to go head to head. Well, other than the fact that Impact isn't on a channel that you can watch.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like if Impact was on a channel that everyone had, they couldn't move to Tuesday, not because they would be killing Impact, but Impact would outperform them.
Impact is getting around 200,000 viewers without being on a major network.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in all the extra shit that they're on.
I mean,
like their numbers on Access spike. A lot of folks that have Access watch Impact.
Impact has been the best wrestling show in the past 6-7 months.
The strangest thing, Access is on Sling TV, which if you're a cord cutter, you can watch it on there. I just thought that was kind of weird that, like, of all the places to have it, it's on like randomly on Sling TV.
Yeah,
that's strange.
That's weird.
And it's like on both of their packages. So like they have an orange and a blue. You can access them on both.
You just have access all the time. I agree. I think if NXT and Impact were on the same day, and Impact was on like a major channel, like NXT is, I think NXT struggles.
Yeah,
I think it's the same problem they're having right now with AEW, and especially if AEW's continues that working relationship where they show up on Tuesdays, that becomes a must-watch show.
Mm-hmm.
And I love NXT. I've been an NXT lifer. I loved it since they started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give me those two shows at the same time, I'm gonna choose Impact.
I'm watching Impact.
Yeah.
I'm watching Impact.
I'm not gonna say
nothing.
I'm not gonna say NXT doesn't have the better wrestling. They have the best in-ring product, I think, in the planet. They do not have the most entertaining.
They don't have the swing man.
They don't have the swing man.
They don't have the swing man.
You could get lost a little bit watching NXT. You are tuned in for the entire 2 hours of Impact.
Yes. And it doesn't feel like 2 hours. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Listen, I was watching it on
never
Tuesday,
feels
and
like
it
2
went
hours.
by like that.
Because you're so into the product.
You invested. Yep.
Like, even like, especially when you guys are doing the streams, I feel like even during the breaks, I have a reason to be invested because I'm talking to you guys about it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn right.
When the when the wrestling comes back, I'm hooked. I'm watching the wrestling. I'm zoned in. So, and I don't know that there's any other. Even last night when you guys were streaming AEW and NXT, I wasn't as locked in as I was when you streamed it for Impact. I just wasn't. Not that the product's not great and not interesting, but Impact just has a better product right now than anything going.
Yeah, because like I just said, there are pockets within those shows to where you can get lost or get disinterested, or you can have a situation where you're looking at Cross and Escobar face off, and you're like, "What? Like, huh?" So yeah, so with AEW, no, I'm sorry, with Impact, you have those moments, but it's like, what?
They make it entertaining.
Interesting.
When Impact does it, and I think this is what Greg got to like last week, was they've done such a good job of making everybody a believable contender. So when you have that face off between, two guys, it's believable. It's like when Escobar and Cross square off, you're just like, yeah, whatever. In Impact, even if it's the biggest dude and their smallest guy, you're still like,
It's the most balanced roster. And this is between both their divisions. It's the most balanced roster in all of wrestling. The most balanced.
Easily.
And it's because they keep losing people, but like they're like 7 or 8 deep on both sides.
They know how to keep their rosters built. They know they're going to lose 5 or 6 folks in a year. And they still know how to fix that.
Here's how balanced their roster is. Chris Bay can go after the Impact World title or the X Division title. And we will be equally as excited.
I was about to say that. They keep their wrestlers moving. They don't just stay to one feud for 4 or 5 months.
What's the match?
You just saw Chris Bay going for X Division, and now he's chasing Rich Swann.
What's the match they announced today that we were talking about in the group?
Triple Threat Gauntlet.
I'll say this:
Revolver.
They have shitty names for matches. That is the one problem they have.
Yeah,
is they really overcomplicate stuff when it comes to match names. Let's see, what the fuck did they call it?
Triple Threat Revolver or some shit like that.
I think you're right.
Triple Threat Revolver match. But looking at those guys like Trey Miguel, he could challenge for either title, right? Chris Bay, Josh Alexander would be a fun either one, because I think Mike said we'd like to see him as X Division, and then eventually like to see him chase the world title.
Yeah.
Ace Austin is another one.
William Mack, we've already seen, is a great champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty much everybody in the match.
We saw him in the X Cup a few weeks back, and he surprised us.
Yeah.
Any one of those guys to win.
When I looked at that today, I was like, I don't know who's winning that match.
Any one of them could win.
That is every multi-person match in Impact. You look at it and you're like, I don't know.
Anyone could win, and then whoever goes on to face TJP is gonna be a great match.
Yeah, you're never disappointed with whoever wins these matches.
The thing with Impact is they've learned how to have multiple storylines with multiple people, and none of them get stale. That's the biggest thing that you can have with any type of wrestling promotion. You can have all the wrestling talent you want. At the end of the day, what you need is storylines. And what Impact does is they are really good at intertwining storylines so no one seems irrelevant. Even the most non-minuscule feud seems like a good feud. Like, who really cares? Like, let's be realistic. Decay is not challenging for any championship, but anything revolving around Decay, we're interested in just because of the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So Impact is really good at developing storylines with all of their characters. That's also how they get by on having 2 hours of wrestling without us knowing, because you have so many storylines, you're hooked. And with any good television show, once you're hooked, you don't realize the time that's flying by.
And that's where AEW falls flat, is because we get TV time for Kip Sabian and Miro and this wedding. Nobody cares about that.
Terrible.
Like, nobody cares about it. And like that's kind of the thing. Like, if Impact puts on a wedding, which I guess they did recently, like, we're even invested in that more than we were with this crap. I mean, like, AEW does a really poor job of giving us good storylines that flow throughout the two hours. Impact doesn't have that problem. I mean,
has figured it out. Every wedding segment is goofy as hell.
Justin, just to piggyback off of you. Sorry to cut you off, Mongo. Just to piggyback off of you real quick, Justin. The reason why we were invested in Impact's wedding and not AEW's is Impact's wedding had more than one storyline going on around it. They had the wedding and they also had the bankroll. They had the wedding. They had the wedding and the bankroll. The bankroll
Russell House.
And they had Wrestle House surrounding it. They had several different things going around that before we actually got to that wedding. So that's why we were invested in that wedding. And the funny thing about it is AEW had the same person officiate their wedding that they had Impact officiate. Father James Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to bring the Sinister Minister in, you need to understand this is going to be campy as shit, and you got to lean into it. What Impact does well is they recognize, this is goofy. This is like cartoony, and this is kind of stupid. But if that's what it is, we're going to go with it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody got shot.
Yeah, and the payoff for that didn't happen for a while, but it happened in in Taya leave it, right? Like that, going to jail.
Yep.
Who knows if that was the original ending? Who knows?
Nobody knows. But you know what? It's a believable ending, and I'm good with it. I'm not upset about that ending.
Also, Wrestle House was a 5-week program just to get Rosemary laid.
Wrestle House, I say this all the time. Wrestle House is what got me into Impact.
Just telling y'all the difference in Impact and every other promotion. Swingman.
It's
The Brizzards, baby, the Brizzards.
Yeah, daddy.
it really is.
Swingman, daddy. If we don't get
I really
some type of
think
Swingman and Michael Hayes collaboration, I don't know what's going on in the world.
Yeah, we need to have one of those.
Immediately.
All wrestling is a little dumb. All wrestling is a little stupid. We know that. But Impact is the only company that really is okay with just like accepting that. And when you just accept it and go along with the ride, it's a fun trip.
It really is.
I just
Yeah,
want
they
to
did
say,
it correctly.
Then when you get the serious shit after that, it makes it feel better.
Because their stupidity is done correctly.
we got Kenta debuting on AEW, and we've spent the last 20 minutes talking about Impact. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Pretty much.
And the thing about that is, though, it's not like Kenta is a weak ass. I can't even blame AEW on that so much due to the fact of, like I've said before, AEW factors on a lot of their fan base being New Japan fans. That's what they base a lot of their storylines on. That's what they base a lot of their things on. They really, and I think I brought it up yesterday with the women's tournament that they have. They have a legit Japanese side and a legit US side. We don't know that Japanese side, and AEW has a bad habit of depending on their fan, knowing who New Japan and these Japanese wrestlers are.
There's one that they didn't announce that we knew because we have been joking about one of her posts for the past week.
Right.
That is all we know. I've looked into it because I thought it was funny as fuck. But like that, she had a tweet that said, "I am the god of love and piss."
Right.
He thought it was funny.
Like it's funny, but like who the fuck is that?
Right. Like the only other female I think I know on the Japanese side of that tournament is the older female that came into the ring with the little mustache and the microphone. She's in there.
The Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury lady?
Yeah, she's in there.
Didn't she fight for the title last year?
Yeah.
She was. What was her name? She was really terrible. And then JR made that really weird comment about
I can't remember her name.
Who,
I remember
can I ask a real question? Y'all all sitting here fucking fretting right now. Can any of y'all pronounce her name if y'all know it?
Yeah, it wasn't a super hard name, I don't think.
Keep it a buck. Can any of y'all pronounce that shit if y'all?
Oh, it's
I
Emi
can't pronounce
Sakura.
half the shit they
Yeah,
know.
Emi Sakura. Yeah,
Emi Sakura, and the only reason I can pronounce, there's a restaurant in our town called Sakura. But anyway,
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah,
my fat ass is gonna know about food.
I remember being like, this is terrible. And I remember being told by a lot of folks on Twitter how wrong I was because how great she is in other promotions. Most people do not have time to watch 9 Japanese promotions and AEW. We got day jobs. You got to introduce someone to us correctly.
That's
like I said yesterday, the way you introduce these Japanese stars is you mix and match these matchups. You don't have a Japanese bracket in the US bracket. You mix these matchups. Like I might not know who the Freddie Mercury chick is by name one matchup, but let's say she fights Big Swole in her first matchup, and she kicks Big Swole's ass that first matchup. The second matchup, I'm gonna know her name.
Nah, she's still Freddie Mercury, lady. And mostly because if you go back like JR and he does this, and it's really the problem with AEW's announced team. And not that I don't like them, but like when Butcher and Blade, we've talked about this before, when they debuted, it was JR going, and JR and Excalibur going, oh my goodness, it's the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny. I don't know who these people are. He did the same thing with Emi Sakura. Like, apparently she's got this long lineage of great wrestling from these other countries, but all he could come up with, is, if I'm not mistaken, was he said something along the lines of, Freddie Mercury's never looked so Oriental, Asian, female. That's what he said. That's what he came up with to sell this person to us, was Freddie Mercury's never looked so Oriental, female, Asian. And it was like super paused out to where it was like awkward. And like at no point could I even focus on, like, I was too busy thinking JR. Like, bro, what are you talking about right now?
But JR's also man. Right. I'm about to say JR's at a point where you just kind of just go, damn, JR.
Right, but like again,
that's all you say with JR. You just go, damn, JR. You're like, come on, bro. Like, but to give JR his JR's been through a lot of shit. All right, especially within the last like 2-3 years. He's been through a lot of. Yeah, he fell down. He lost his wife, and that might not even have been the worst he's looked. When he fell down them stairs, that man looked like he got jumped by a gang.
Probably a Freddie Mercury's.
That's JR's commentary. And then Excalibur is like, oh, this person won the Super Daily DDT Alpha Champion. What the fuck are you talking about?
Low key.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Here's the thing. Low key, we don't mention it enough. Excalibur is no better than Matt Striker.
He's not good.
I don't think there's anybody worse than Matt Striker, man.
The only difference is Excalibur might throw a joke in here and there where it's actually really funny. But as far as the background on shit that they do,
yeah, but
the only difference is Excalibur does all the Japan shit.
There's nobody worse than Matt Striker.
Absolutely no one. Absolutely no one.
I don't. At least with AEW, I don't turn my TV down. I have to turn my TV down during the matches for Matt Striker.
Yeah.
Hold on. I will say one thing. I watched Impact with the commentary this Tuesday. Of course, Uncle Phil was Uncle Phil, and he was great. Matt Striker was a little better. I'm wondering. I'm about to say I did not hear too many history lessons at all this Tuesday. I'm wondering if maybe because it was his first time back that pay-per-view, he was doing too much. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens on the next pay-per-view. Because if he makes this as a habit for the pay-per-views, then he has to go.
That's fair.
Even the Impact after the pay-per-view, he did it though. Like, because I think Mongo was the first time Mongo got to watch in a little while in terms of with Striker. He's like, I see what y'all are saying now about the history lessons. Yeah, this is getting old.
Yeah, it does.
It gets old quick.
I think you watch pay-per-view. I was like, oh, Striker, that'd be interesting. And then like after about 2 minutes, I was like, okay, he's just told you like 5 facts
that I don't want to know.
And then he compares wrestlers to the weirdest, like, other comparisons.
Kyle Valkyrie is Lex Luger.
Bro.
What?
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Lex, like, beat Elizabeth to death?
Kenny?
I'm on Twitch every Thursday, twitch.tv/podcast. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com.
Sorry, did I
You can follow Mongo on twitter.com /SK we will have a live stream. We have a live stream. We're going to do double duty for Impact and AEW and NXT next Tuesday and next Wednesday at 8 p.m. You can catch us live on Facebook and also on our Facebook page at Under the Ring Podcast. Yeah.
Kenny's gonna stop making jokes about people that are dead.
Be sure to follow us at twitch.tv/UnderTheRingPodcast or the Under the Ring Pod and Facebook.com/UnderTheRingPod. If you want to follow along with the the streams that Mike and sometimes Kenny do, be sure to join the group, and you can watch those every Tuesday and or Wednesday, depending on what you want to do.
This week we're going to do double duty. This week we're going to do double duty. Yeah, we're going to do double duty because there's a lot going on as far as like we building up to pay-per-views for this week, for the upcoming weekend and stuff like that. We have some really big matchups. We have people from Inter Promotions having matchups this week. So we're going to be doing double duty. Yes, Kenton will be on AEW this week. So we're going to do double duty this week. So you're going to get a chance to see the good brothers 3 times this week, folks. You're going to get a chance to see us 3 times this week. So get used to this pretty mug because you're going to see it. All right. I promise the next show I won't be as abrasive and mention too many folks who have. Listen. You're all right.
Limit of 1 per show.
All right. Check this out. Listen, folks, if you don't know me by now, I'm the one who's going to say a lot of shit that you probably go, oh, damn. But at the same time, I'm going to also be the person that goes, nah, don't say that. So tonight was my night where you're going to go, oh, damn. So tonight was my oh, damn moment. You got any hate mail, send it my way. I may send an apology. I may tell you to go fuck yourself. Don't really even know, depending upon what you say.
Probably the second one.
It's a 99.99999% chance it's going to be the second one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And when I say fuck yourself, I probably mean fuck yourself with a Chuck Norris kick too. So just let you know that that's what's going to happen. I want to give a shout out to hold on before we continue. I'm sorry. Last thing, I want to give a shout out to our boy Matty Bischoff, who was not on the show today, whose birthday recently passed. It was actually last weekend. So give a big shout out to the big Matty Bischoff. He's probably still celebrating, having an Imperial Stout somewhere. Brother, we miss you. We love you. He's also half of the tag team championship, so he will have to put his belt on the line for the next podcast when his ass shows up. All right.
Also want to throw out a little extra thing. The Animal Beard Company by longtime listener and friend of the show, Jeff Williams and his family. We've all of us that have beards have been using it. Great products, brother. Great stuff.
I get my stuff soon, and I will be testing it out. But yes, the Animal Beard Company, thank you for blessing all of us, for helping us look good.
I need to get some of that. Somebody needs to send me the link to it.
Again,
you need to grow something again.
I'm trying. I need the beard stuff.
That's one that I like. Anyway, thanks for following, folks. We'll see you next Thursday. Again, you can follow Mike McKinney next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, for all the shows. It's going to be a great week of wrestling. Until then, we'll see you next time. This is the Under the Ring Podcast. Out.